did you find a way to run from the city of the sun? You could have stayed, it's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah. I mistook you for a son. It don't matter what we think when it's all over. 'Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice, raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice, raise your power, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of planet Earth, the internet, and parts some might call unknown, it is time. I just hit my face on my microphone. For season 8, yes, 8, not 7. I made a mistake last week. Episode 2 of the House Divided podcast, the NFL preview show.
Yes.
We are here. We are live. Yeah, I made a mistake. We're actually on season 8. Not 7. Shout out to Jordan for catching that. Little housekeeping, and I didn't even talk to Jordan about this, so this is just a me decision. For any of you who consume this podcast on Spotify, going forward, you will not be getting it on video on Spotify. If you want it on video, it's streamed at 2 places on Twitch. It's on the House Divided podcast YouTube channel. So sorry if you aren't getting video on Spotify. It's redundant and it takes 4 hours to upload onto Spotify. Is Jordan here? I may have lost Jordan. Did I lose Jordan? Jordan? There he goes. Well, hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, where's my camera?
It's not there. What happened?
Well, you see, Discord had a bad time for an update.
It took us 45 minutes to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden.
Oh, wait, no, that's not right.
Oh my, what is happening? Jordan's back.
That's right.
Okay, so like I said, the housekeeping's done. Redundant to have video on Spotify. It's streamed in 3 places, or 2 places, and uploaded onto YouTube. It's redundant. So with that being said, all the housekeeping is done. It's time to get into the show.
Also, yes.
With not stupid people say stupid things. I forgot we changed this to bad take of the week. I believe last year.
Yeah. It was sometime last year when we decided that we didn't need to have 7 people saying stupid things.
Why is my stream deck not working? What is happening?
Oh God, what broke on my stream now?
Oh my! Why is my stream deck not working? What happened here?
Oh God, why is it so delayed? This is not going well.
Okay, we're back. What? Do I have to? Oh my God! You've got to be.
I think I might just let you stream this because we're having problems over here.
I don't know what the fuck's up with my stream deck. This is fun.
Well, I'm just over here dropping 13,000 frames, which is good enough for 48%. So, hope your stream can stay alive, because this one is not.
Yeah. Well,
phenomenal start.
We're off and running, and my dog is doing things behind us. Let's get into the show before my internet explodes.
It's distinctly possible it might.
Well, let's close that, because I have no idea what was up with the stream deck. No, not news. We haven't even made it that far yet. Bad take of the week. Dog, what are you doing? Jordan, do you have one?
No.
Okay, I have one. Roddy White said on Saturday night after Clemson lost, that Clemson lost because they had too many white people on the field.
Outstanding.
How can you watch that Clemson game and say that's why they lost? Let's move on to the news. Pull the notes up. First in the news, I have to manually switch scenes to This Is Going Great Tonight. Rams hire Scott Frost as an assistant everything. Scott Frost will be helping the special teams coordinator, whatever the dude's name is, while also helping with offense and defense, according to Sean McVay. McVay said of Scott Frost, it's great just to be able to get a quality caliber coach in the building, and you can't have enough quality people. What could go wrong with that?
What could go wrong?
According to this show, everything. Do you have anything to say on the contract signings, or you just want me to fly through them real quick?
No, that's fine.
Okay. I'm gonna fly through the extremely late NFL contract signings. Brandon Ayuk, 4-year, $120 million, $46 million guaranteed. These all are staying to their same team, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. With 49ers, Trent Williams, 3 years, $82 million, 48 at signing with also the 49ers. Is he still there?
Brent Williams, yes.
Yes, okay. Cam Hayward, 3 years, $45 million with the Steelers, 16 guaranteed. Almost assuring Cam Hayward will be retiring as a Steeler, most likely. Meanwhile, Hassan Reddick continues his contract holdout. Jets coach Robert Saleh said, if the deal gets done, it would be like finding change in a couch.
That was the quote, yes.
I would say I'm glad you found that quote because I did not. That's incredible. Moving on. Both Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo will be left off the Ballon d'Or nomination list for the first time in 21 years.
How many years is that?
That's enough years to be of legal drinking age in the United States.
Yeah.
Speaking of legal drinking age, the way this podcast is starting.
I mean, my internet might not be dead now. I think we're back up and running.
Excellent. If you are, I'll pull your chat open too.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I saw that headline yesterday, shortly after I woke up from a midday nap, I had to go fact check that because that didn't seem real. First time since 2003 that neither of them were on the list. The best player of the year. And lastly in the news, this is the weird news of the week. The Big Ten found out after what I would assume would be reviewing their own refs, or reviewing refs from the game, because the team in question didn't ask for a review. Big Ten found out that Washington tight end Quentin Moore got injured by a Weber State player on Saturday night that ran out onto the field mid-play.
What are we doing?
I'm going to press the button there. What are we doing?
Outstanding from the young man.
I had to go.
Outstanding, I mean, what the hell?
That's overwhelming. Here, let me press that button too.
Well, that's overwhelming.
Well, this is another one that when I saw it, I had to go back and as someone who is good at watching film from football games, I checked the film on this. Weber State linebacker Garrett Beck came out of nowhere to tackle Quentin Moore. And I was like, okay, he was on the field somewhere. Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, the Big Ten said that Weber State linebacker Garrett Beck came out on the field mid-play after someone on their sideline noticed they only had 10 guys on the field. Moore and the broadcast on whatever the fuck channel it was, like, man, that man came out of nowhere. Beck hit Moore in the knee. Thankfully, according to University of Washington head coach Jed Fish, his name is important there because there ain't too many people named Jed. Moore shouldn't be out more than a week or two. So,
Now, is that even legal? Like,
no, it's not. It is very illegal.
I was gonna say, like, once the play starts, if you don't have the amount of guys on the field that you should have, that's kind of it, isn't it?
Yes. And so, like, when I read the headline, of course, I saw this from CBS Sports. The headline was Washington tight end injured by ineligible Weber State player. So, like, my first thought was, like, this Weber State player that was, like, suspended and couldn't actually be in the game. So I thought something happened, like, in a fight or some shit on the sideline. No. Linebacker Garrett Beck just ran out onto the field mid-play because he was supposed to be out there. Like, and
Has that ever happened before? I really can't imagine it has.
No, I've never heard of it.
Who on the Weber State sideline was just like, hey, guy, you've got to go.
Go. Like, what are we doing here?
I wish I knew.
Hopefully, It's easy to laugh about because Quentin Moore's not going to be out, miss the entire season because of it. It's very unfortunate that someone did have to get injured because of just the what the fuck is happening play.
A stupid.
So thankfully, Moore will be able to play again this season. And that's the news. We got a quick college football recap as I have to change scenes. Jordan, is your stream deck working for you?
Well, I mean, yes, but I still use mobile, so.
Oh yeah, my actual physical stream deck is not. Week 1 recap from college football. This is the first time I haven't had a stream deck working in a long time. This is rough.
Yeah, hey, maybe I was considering getting a physical one again instead of using mobile. Maybe I shouldn't.
The pain in the ass. I don't like this. What's weird is my soundboard buttons. I was able to hit Taylor Twellman a couple times during that last news article. That works.
That's good.
Scene changing doesn't, so that's just dumb. College football recap. Very quickly, because most of the top 25 took care of business. Some games to note. Number 1, Georgia beat down Clemson 34-3. This game was close at halftime. It was 6-0, and then it wasn't close in the second half.
Yeah, then Georgia happened.
Cade Klubnik, Dabo Swinney, they're Dabo is just wandering that sideline like a lost puppy. He has no clue why this team sucks, other than the fact that they just suck.
That seat of Dabo Swinney might be getting hotter and hotter by the moment.
Even though,
I don't know. The thing is that I'm not really the biggest fan of Dabo, but you have to be able to go and get somebody better.
That is true.
I mean, how many are out there how many coaches are out there that are actually better?
That's true.
Who's going to do more with what that team has right now?
That is true.
Although it would bring me great joy to see Dabo Swinney get fired, so.
Also accurate. Moving on. Yeah, like I said, this Clemson team might suck. I honestly don't know. Georgia's good, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I just don't know if this game was a case of Georgia's really fucking good or Clemson really fucking sucks.
Could be a little of both.
That's possible. Moving
Probably
on.
A little of both.
Moving on, number 2, Ohio State beat down Akron 52-6. It was a slow start for Chip Kelly and the Buckeyes offense. A couple drops by Jeremiah Smith and Nico Ibuka, a couple other receivers on the early drives. And then, second half rolled around. Poor Akron quarterback Ben Finley was just getting murdered. And
that was pain.
Their head coach, I can't remember their head coach's name, it's fucking irrelevant, must hate Ben Finley.
So Finley got hurt on the first play of that game, didn't he?
Second.
The second play of the game. And he was still playing into the third quarter?
He got set the second drive of the third quarter. No, the first drive of the third quarter, I think. After getting hit 5 plays in a row by Jack Sawyer.
The rough day to be him.
Yeah. And what was even dumb about it, it wasn't like he was just getting hit on pass rushes. He was getting hit on pass rushes. He was getting mauled on pass rushes. And for whatever reason, their head coach wanted to keep running Finley as quarterback power or read option, and he just... the poor dude, they shot to the sideline when they had finally taken his shoulder pads away from him. He had 5 different ice bags around him.
It's like college football 25 when you see the wear and tear on your player, and
it's red.
Three of your 4 limbs are red. Your torso's bright orange, and then everything. Yeah, that was Finley.
That's accurate.
For the majority of that game.
That's accurate.
That dude took a beating. And now I was at work while this game was going on, so I didn't even get to see every single play. Every time I came back and saw Akron with the football, I saw Finley limping.
Yeah, that's what it was. Like, credit to the man for trying to grind it out, but at some point you're gonna die.
He was near death. Not really, but
like Akron ran a couple of goofy things on offense. They kept 2 quarterbacks in the game at one point. Obviously it didn't work. They only scored 6 points. Like I said, Ohio State opened it up in the second half. Jeremiah Smith is really good, and we kind of expected that. Will Howard, I don't want to say he's better than Kyle McCord, because game 1 last year, Kyle McCord was making his first start, but Will Howard might be solid. And
I can't believe you are besmirching the legend of Honda McCord.
Yep, I am. So yeah, this Ohio State team could be pretty good. Once the Chip Kelly offense when the Chip Kelly offense is working, it looks really good. They also have a flex prone potential in there that Chip Kelly, for whatever reason, loves to run. Don't know how often we'll see that though. Moving on. I know Jordan would love to see it because fullbacks.
We love fullbacks.
Moving on, number 3 Oregon, and this was a what the fuck game. I want to talk about this very briefly. Number 3 Oregon beat Idaho 24-14.
It was a 3-point game in the 4th.
Yes, it was. Dylan Gabriel threw for 390 and a couple scores, I believe it was. And had I not been keeping an eye on this game, if someone would have told me, oh, Dylan Gabriel threw for 390, I'd have been like, that's a phenomenal first half of football. Problem is, he had to play all 4 quarters.
Yes.
This Oregon team could be in trouble if they need a Heisman performance from their quarterback in week 1 against an FCS opponent.
Yeah. I don't think they're bad.
No.
I'm not gonna say that yet.
No.
But they definitely struggled more than you would have expected them to. You know, the whole thing with Dylan Gabriel coming in was that he was supposed to be better than what you had last year in Bo Nix. And then we saw what we saw in week 1.
Yeah. And like you and I said here on this show last Friday that Oregon was probably going to hang 70 on Idaho.
Yep.
They did not.
No.
Moving on, unless you have anything else to add, because I don't. It's going to be very interesting to see what Oregon does this week against Boise. We'll talk about that in the picks, though.
Yeah, you never know with Boise either. They can give you a game. So.
Yeah. Moving on.
The whole Big Ten upside down.
Number 7 Notre Dame beat number 20 Texas A&M 23-13. This game was meh. It wasn't.
It's just the usual early season Texas A&M loss that.
Yep.
In years past would take them out of contention for anything serious. These days, not so much.
At least it was to a ranked team this year.
It was to a ranked team.
Bravo to Marcus Freeman and his Notre Dame squad going on the road. Something that Notre Dame doesn't usually do a whole lot against teams of this caliber, and beating Texas A&M. Year 1 of the Mike Elko years. I believe it's Mike Elko, right?
Sure.
Texas A&M head coach from Duke. Year 1, game 1 didn't go great. Him and his offensive coordinator were vehemently disagreeing on something in which Elko was yelling till he was tomato red in the face at the OC about something.
You remember the Mike Elko to Michigan State rumors last year?
Yes.
Remember that?
I don't know if Michigan State would have been better off for it after what we saw in week 1. Team.
That's tough to say.
Next up, do you want to talk about this game now, or you want to wait till we end the recap?
I don't have the notes up. What's next?
Oh, Michigan, Fresno State.
Oh, I'll get what I have to say about that game. And you've heard the main quote of me.
Let me at least tell the people the score, even though they should know it. Number 9, Michigan beats Fresno State 30-10. Now punt to you.
Yeah. So I've been saying all week that I'm not going to say that Michigan is ass, but I may make that decision after Saturday.
Fair.
We may have to enter Michigan is ass territory. They may be in real trouble when it comes to quarterback if Davis Warren is your best option. And now I love the story of Davis Warren. Dude's a former walk-on, cancer survivor, all that. If he's the best thing we got, we're in some trouble. From what I've heard about Alex Orji in practice is that Alex Orji can't complete a pass. I don't know how it even gets to that point where you are a Division I quarterback at the University of Michigan. You got a scholarship to come play here, and you can't complete passes. That's what we're talking about. He can't hit receivers. It's that bad. We could be in some very, very dangerous territory with that. And then Donovan Edwards, he looked bad for 13 of 15 games last year. I want to say he averaged 2 yards a carry, maybe even less.
Something like that, yeah.
And we are headed towards a very similar path with the Don this year, judging by week 1. Khalil Mullings, who is RB2, redshirt senior, still kicking around. Might even be his 6th year of college football. I don't know. When he's looking better than you, Donovan Edwards. Oh, boy.
I was just about to ask you, how long till Khalil Mullins is the potential RB1? Like, how long do we have to wait before that's a talk that starts to be happening?
Well, he was better than Donovan at the tail end of last season, and he started to get used more. And then Donovan had a couple, big carries in the Ohio State game and then the national championship, and then it was all forgotten. And now we all remember just how bad he was again, because we saw it again
Yesterday.
on Saturday.
Not yesterday, Saturday.
And, I don't know. Now, the good news is that the defense is still there. Will Johnson, big pick 6 to seal that game. It really shouldn't have. You wouldn't have looked at that game and thought that it was going to go down to the fourth quarter, but it was a 1-score game in the fourth, and things were looking real dicey. And now I said that I was going to be happy if they just covered. Well, they almost covered.
They came close.
And given how bad that they played for about 3/4 of that game, I will take it overall. Now, nobody's given us a shot against Texas. They would have to play so much better. So unbelievably better to beat Texas. And you saw after that game, prior to the Fresno State game,
That was a
Michigan,
3-point
Texas,
spread, right?
Michigan Texas was like 2.5, 3.5. I don't know where it is now. Immediately after that game, it jumped to like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So nobody is believing in them. I don't really blame anybody for not believing in Michigan after that, but we will see. We said last week Michigan can lose 2 of their 3 big games. They might even add a 4th if USC's for real. They can lose to Texas, but beat Oregon or Ohio State. And you win one of those 3, you're probably okay as long as you don't lose to USC.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, a 10-2 Michigan team is going to make it into the playoffs. Even if you lose 2 of your bigger games, it'll be a lower seed, but we'll see how it goes.
So,
but I don't know if that, with the way that they played, I don't know if 10-2 is even an option.
So I'm going to say this, a little bit of quick backstory on it. The only reputable Ohio State media source, blog, that actually covers football anymore and not Michigan sign stealing is 11 Warriors. They have a writer on staff that his sole job every week is to write an article about Michigan football from an outsider perspective and how they played and whether or not they're good.
Is this the threat level article?
Yes.
Okay.
This is threat level. There was a quote in threat level, or line in threat level, that I think fits here, and it was, Michigan is Iowa with more upside. This year's Michigan team is Iowa with upside.
Hey, after how Iowa played last Saturday, I'll take that.
Right, 40 points. What the fuck?
Yeah, might be a program high for Iowa.
They had receivers caught as many touchdown passes in one game as they did all of last season.
Which is incredible.
It's 2.
Yeah, and we're not going to talk about that game much at all outside of this, but
yeah,
Cade McNamara looked like ass to start that game. By the end of the game, I was seeing things out of Cade McNamara that I'd never seen before.
Yeah.
That Cade McNamara throwing on the run. What? Cade McNamara throwing under pressure. Saw a little bit of that, but not that much.
Cade McNamara not hitting an offensive lineman in the head.
That did used to happen once a game when he was at Michigan, yes.
It did. Yeah, I feel like that line of Michigan, this year's Michigan team is just Iowa with potential or Iowa with upside. He used both phrases, potential and upside, in there about Michigan. And I agree with it. I think it fits. Like, they could be a good team, or they could be, offensively, they could be bad.
You don't know. I mean, there were games last season where they looked similarly bad, if not worse. The Bowling Green game last year, night game, I was probably more panicked during that one than I was during the Fresno State game for whatever reason, even though I think the Fresno State game was closer later than the Bowling Green game was. But yeah,
they did look bad last week or last year for that game.
Yep, that was miserable. So I don't know. It's 1 week. That's why I'm waiting till we face a real opponent in Texas to figure out where this team is.
That's fair. Moving on. Anything else to add?
Nada.
Okay, moving on. Number 10.
Yes, Dominic Zvada, kicker. We got one.
I don't know why.
Got one of those too.
Ohio State has fullbacks.
We just have, and we only need one.
We don't really know what Ohio State's kicking situation is because for the most part, all he did was kick extra points.
Yeah,
kicked one field goal, but a lot of extra points. Number 10, Florida State hosted Boston College on Monday night. They lost 13-28. All I gotta say about this game, and
my God,
all I gotta say about this game, and for anybody who hasn't seen it on the House Divided podcast YouTube channel or on Spotify, I stole something from Jordan. Weekend Jorts. DJ Uiagalelei was in Weekend Jorts. I'm gonna steal a line from that. Whatever film, whatever tape people have on DJ Uiagalelei that makes them think he's good needs to be burned. The ashes need to be gathered up, put in a box. That box needs to be burned. Those ashes need to be gathered up, thrown in a metal safe, and then either strapped to a rocket and shot into the fucking sun, or thrown into the bottom of the goddamn ocean.
I don't know how that man has convinced 3 power conference schools over the last, I don't even know, 7 years. It feels
4
like
years.
He's been in college football forever.
He's been in since 2020, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, 3 power schools, and one really good one in Clemson at the time.
Yeah.
To think that this man was good at football, and in every opportunity he's gotten, outside of balling out a little bit last year at Oregon State.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's like,
he blows.
I'm willing to give Clemson the benefit of the doubt because I haven't seen Uiagalelei's high school film. Uiagalelei was, depending on what site you trusted, was either the number 1 or number 2 quarterback in his class that included Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
Like I said,
I wonder where they're at.
yeah, I have not seen a single snap of Uiagalelei's high school film. I don't know who he played high school football with. I know he played in the same area as C.J. Stroud in California. So I don't know who he played football with in high school. I haven't seen any film. I thought he was going to be good coming out of high school, so I'll give Dabo and Clemson the benefit of the doubt. What film did John Smith at Oregon State have? What film did he see that made him think, you're going to be our guy, we want you to come to Oregon State? And then what film did Norvell have? Like, DJ, you're going to be our guy, we want you to come to Florida State. And on a side note, back to Oregon State, Aiden Childs was the backup behind DJ Uiagalelei. Good job, Michigan State. You got the guy who was deemed worse than DJ Uiagalelei.
Yeah, so that's the thing is that you...
I don't care that Childs was a true freshman.
Yeah, we're supposed to believe that Aiden Childs is the future of all things football. And yep, it was Jonathan Smith that thought that he was all that.
Yeah.
And now, once again, in terms of saying a team's ass, we can say that about very few teams right now. I'm not going to say that about Michigan State. Aiden Childs did not look good.
No, he did not.
To start his Michigan State tenure. He's got to figure some shit out. I don't know if he can, but yeah, no, the DJ comparison and the fact that he backed him up last year, even again as a true freshman. Oh, God.
Yeah. Florida State, there are very few teams we could say are ass this early.
I was going to say, Florida State through week 1 is 0-2.
Yeah, they're ass.
I mean,
they're ass.
I love the fact that they played week 0 and they got to play not 1 but 2 games as the number 10 team in the country and lost them both.
And not just that, and I saw something that was phenomenal point on Monday night from Nicole Auerbach. She's on NBC, does college football on NBC, Big Ten Saturday nights. That stupidity. Both of the games that we got to see of Florida State were the only game in their time slot.
Yeah.
There is nobody who could be like, oh, I didn't watch Florida State, unless they just weren't watching college football that day. Like,
yeah, that does make it even more impressive, really. The fact that in college football, no less, for you to have an entire time slot to yourself is a very hard thing to do in college football. You pretty much have to be in the playoff and the national championship. You have to do things like that, or play at like 1 a.m. like Hawaii.
Yep.
And even then, there's a couple other teams that play that late too. But oh God.
Yeah. Florida State's terrible.
The entire college football world is watching you because you're the only teams on.
And you look like ass.
You go out and look like that 2 weeks in a row.
Just, yeah.
And remember after the first loss, it was like, oh God, we let DJ air it out, man.
Yeah, Florida State fans.
Trust DJ more.
Yeah, Florida State fans on Twitter. We gotta let DJ throw the rock. You need to
DJ Cook.
You need to take the rock away from DJ. DJ needs to beat.
Can we give Florida State the death penalty for being ass?
Yes, please. I don't know if
this is just one of the biggest early season fumbles.
Like, Florida State.
Remember.
Florida State and Florida at the end of the year needs to be on like 8 a.m. on Nickelodeon. Like, Florida State tricked all of us.
The CW.
Please. Florida State tricked all of us. Everyone thought that after last year, they got snubbed in the playoff. And then they got absolutely killed by Georgia. And you can say, oh yeah, half their roster didn't play against Georgia. Half their starting lineup didn't play against Georgia. Sure. everybody was tricked by Florida State thinking, oh man, they're going to be good this year. They fucking blow.
Now, that Florida State team, they make the playoffs last year if Jordan Travis is healthy, and that is rightfully so.
Yes.
But, I mean, when you're running the Wildcat because your backup quarterback can't cut it.
Not just backup, third string quarterback, I think, at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Florida State's ass.
my.
Moving on. Final game. Number 13 LSU played number 23 USC at Allegiant Stadium. I don't know how much of this game you watched. I'll take the lead on it since I was that was my sidecast.
That game.
Yeah.
I didn't watch any of this game. I was asleep.
This game didn't suck, believe it or not, on Sunday night.
Didn't look like it.
This game was pretty back and forth. LSU was mostly in control. USC's offensive and defensive lines, and I'll get to it in a minute, they were getting bullied. And then Brian Kelly had metaphorical explosive diarrhea all over the field again, and USC wins 27-20. There was a couple other things that wasn't just all on Brian Kelly, it was mostly on him. Like at one point through the second half, LSU had was averaging 5.5 yards per carry amongst all of their running backs.
That's not good.
It's very good if you're LSU.
Well, yeah, but
For USC, it was not good. And then you just start running the ball into the center's ass, with 8 minutes left. You go into a full turtle shell, and then you end up losing. A couple other little just dumb things. Kyron Lacey, LSU's number 1 receiver, got one of the stupidest unsportsmanlike conduct penalties I've ever seen, in which after scoring a touchdown in the second quarter, he pulled a gun, metaphorical air gun. He pulled an air gun and shot a USC defender. Defensive back that he had burnt and scored the touchdown on, and 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty.
Yes, that's stupid. Is like you gotta realize that you do that, you're gonna get penalized. I still don't think anything will ever beat the Florida shoe throw.
Oh God, no.
That's all time.
That is still the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's like it's one thing to be excited after you did something. You took a man's shoe
And then threw it.
What, 30 yards downfield?
Yeah. Florida was winning that game too. They had that game in hand, and then
I only
need a
recently
shoe.
thought of that game.
Need a shoe.
Again. There's a video that came out on YouTube not that long ago that just says, was the Florida shoe throw really that bad? And the thumbnail just in big letters says, yes, it was.
It's very possible to say Florida's where they are now because of the shoe throw. Billy Napier is just a terrible coach.
Billy Napier exists.
Billy Napier was the head coach of that team, but
what are those fans in suburbia Florida? What do they know from their basements?
Right.
We know that your football team has been terrible since you've been there.
Yeah.
Florida's just not a threat.
No, they're bad.
And they should be.
Yeah.
It's like when Michigan's bad. College football suffers. When Florida's bad, college football suffers.
Yeah, especially the SEC, because there's no one to fill that void.
Yeah, they don't have. Like, thankfully, Tennessee kind of stepped up, I guess.
A little bit. Yeah.
to at least to the point that they're a contender to maybe get Georgia and Alabama off of those top spots, but
yeah.
Other than that, the SEC is a snooze fest.
Yeah. Just a couple really dumb penalties. LSU shot themselves in the foot, and a lot of bad coaching from Brian Kelly. Lincoln Riley tried to lose this game at one point by burning 2 of his 3 timeouts with 12 minutes to go in the fourth quarter to avoid delay of game on a third down, a third and 9, which they ended up losing yards on to make it 4th and 12. And then on the 4th and 12, goes burns another timeout to avoid delay a game. And then they end up not even going for it going for the field goal. They go for it to try and get the first down, and they don't get it. Like, Lincoln Riley tried to lose this game, but Brian Kelly.
Let's be honest. Lincoln Riley and Brian Kelly, more or less, are just the same coach. They get all the talent in the world. They have the team to do it, and they're not the coaches that can get the most out of their talent. They never have been.
No.
Brian Kelly, like, I don't know what LSU ever saw in Brian Kelly. I don't get it. I don't know why he was able to. It's crazy to call a move from Notre Dame a move up, but to move to the SEC to get that opportunity is a massive step higher than Notre Dame as an independent, where Lord knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. Brian Kelly did it for his family.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah, it's
And then the post game presser by Kelly was, I've seen it all over time and time again. It's really hilarious. Have you seen that?
I was going to talk about that at a later time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's comical.
Yeah,
but,
it was good.
No, they're more or less the same coach. I mean, Lincoln Riley hasn't really accomplished much of anything. Brian Kelly got a team to the championship game. Good for him.
Yeah,
What
got
else has he
mauled.
done?
Yeah, 12 years ago,
He
guy.
got destroyed.
12 years ago, they've been to the playoff twice, both times.
Yeah.
I have more to say about Brian Kelly later. I'll let you guys decide what that means. My final point on this game, like, there was a lot of people all over social media after this game was over. Man, USC could be really good. Man, USC, it's like, what game? Like, I don't think I watched the same game as a lot of these people, because, again, at one point, LSU, going into the fourth quarter, their running backs, they were averaging 5.5 yards per carry. Like,
Well, did you expect USC to have a defense? No.
no.
They want to outscore everyone.
No, and then Noah Moss was getting fucking mauled. Like, their offensive and defensive lines are just pathetic. Like, so I don't know where everyone's looking at this and be like, oh my god, USC could be legit. I don't buy it yet. I don't think I was watching the same game as a lot of people. And you could sit and say, it's just early season struggles. The offensive line hasn't gelled yet. You can't say that about the defense, trust me. I know from experience you can't say that about the defense. So, I just don't know if I'm ready to buy into USC yet being good. It's possible LSU with Brian Kelly just is going to be another underachieving LSU team like they always are.
I mean, would it shock anyone? No,
No.
of course not.
From Lucas, as a Notre Dame fan, Brian Kelly chokes in big games. Yes, he does.
Yep.
And that is the college football recap for week 1, unless Jordan has anything to add.
No, I don't think so. We already kind of touched on Iowa. That was kind of one of the bigger stories, I think, of the week, just that they
40
have
points,
some
holy shit.
semblance of an offense. Now, granted, most of that came in the second half. But hey, hey, good. Good for Iowa. Good for Pat.
Yeah,
Good
that
for
was
Cade McNamara.
that was a weird one. Let's move on to the NFL preview, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
Perfect. All right, so unless you have more to add, I don't.
No, I don't think so.
Starting with the NFL preview, this is going to be very similar, actually the exact same to how we did the NCAA or the college football preview, except this is the whole NFL because there's only 32 teams. It's going to be win
No,
totals.
we're only going to preview the NFC.
That's sad. That's sad face. We got win totals, odds to win the division for each team, and then for the top 8 teams to win the Super Bowl, I have odds there. Starting with the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills. The Bills' win total is 10.5. Their odds to win the division is plus 195. Odds to win the Super Bowl plus 1,700. They are, I believe, the lowest odds to have, or highest odds, I mean, to win the Super Bowl that we have noted. Unless something has changed since I did these notes on Tuesday.
Why?
Yep. I don't know why they're the worst odds that I have noted out of the top 8. They're 8th.
Oh, the worst odds.
Yes.
Okay.
Did I say the best odds?
I thought you were saying the best odds, and I'm like,
no, they have the worst.
huh?
I'm sorry, my bad.
Okay.
Like I said, win total 10.5. What say you?
Buffalo is going to be a really tricky team to guess what the hell they're going to do this year.
They don't have a wide receiver 1 right now.
Wide receiver 1 might be Keon Coleman. It probably is Keon Coleman. Or wide receiver 1 might not even be a wide receiver. It might be Dalton Kincaid. Like,
Also
Dalton
true.
Kincaid could very well be the leading receiver for this team. I don't know how you lose Stephon Diggs. You trade away Stephon Diggs. Gabe Davis is gone. You draft a pretty good rookie in Keon Coleman, but you can't. I can't sit here and say that Buffalo is going to be the same Buffalo and contend for a Super Bowl. Kind of, maybe, if you can even say that they've done that in recent years. I just don't know if you can say that. And now, as much as I love the Damar Hamlin story and the comeback that he has now made,
He's starting.
Damar Hamlin is starting at safety. Starting. No, I don't know. You better hope that he's gonna play out of his mind or something. Otherwise, I mean, you could be in real bad shape. I am gonna go. I don't think the Bills are gonna be bad by any means. They're gonna be a winning football team. I can't say they win 11 games.
I was just looking at the schedule and I agree. I
think they might lose twice to Miami.
Yep.
And Miami's got their own problems, but Miami, you could look at and say they got better, at least a little bit.
Yeah.
And Buffalo, you can't say that. So, I will take the under on that.
I also am taking the under. I just looking at the schedule, I think they can lose twice to the Dolphins. I think they'll beat the Jets both times, possibly. The Patriots, who we'll talk about in a minute, might be the worst team in the entire NFL this year.
I mean, maybe they'll beat the Jets twice. Jets have a defense, and Lord knows what you're going to get out of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, so they could beat the Jets twice, or they lose one. They split the season series with them. But then they got games like the Ravens. They'll probably go lose that game. They got the Chiefs 49ers mid-season. Going to lose both of those games. They got the Lions in December. Probably going to lose to the Lions. Right there, we're looking at 1, most likely 2 to the Dolphins. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there. And they could possibly lose 1 to the Jets. So, yeah, 10-7.
And that's assuming they don't just slip up along the way.
Yeah.
And then I don't know who the backup quarterback of that team is. So many teams in the NFL are a quarterback injury away from having their seasons destroyed.
Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah. they're dead.
I only know that because I was able to look it up right in front of me.
Now, you may turn the ball over less with Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
Which is saying something. But no, if Josh Allen goes down, that team is dead in the water. So, yeah, no.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I want the Buffalo Bills to succeed. I really do. I like that. I like Josh Allen. I like that team. I don't know about this year.
Yeah. I just don't know if they're going to be good this year. They got too worse.
Too worse.
You don't know. There are a lot of teams we're going to talk about that got a little bit worse.
Yep.
The Bills just got
a couple teams that got a lot worse.
Yeah, there are a couple teams that got a lot worse. The Bills were one of those teams that they didn't get a lot worse, but they didn't just get a tiny, a negligible amount of worse. The Bills just got too worse over the offseason. I don't have a good.
I mean, you lost your top 2 wide receivers in the offseason, and you want to tell me that you're going to be as good as you were before.
And again, like you said, and I love the Damar Hamlin's I love the Damar Hamlin story, but he's your starting safety now. Like,
Oh boy.
there's a reason before injuries happened, before Damar got hurt, had his issues, had his heart, had died, for lack of a better term. I'm not even gonna try and skirt around it at this point. There's a reason that before all of that, he was a backup and a special teams guy until injuries happened. Because he really isn't a phenomenal NFL player. The Bills got old and expensive quick. Yeah, that did happen too.
Yeah.
Moving on, the Miami Dolphins. Unless you have anything else to add to the Bills.
Nothing.
Perfect. The Miami Dolphins win total 9.5. Odds to win the division plus 210. I'm taking the over because somebody has to win games in this division, and I think it's going to be the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm on the Dolphins this year for that division as well. So over on the 9.5, because I think the Bills could win 10 games. I think that is feasible if they are better than, maybe the losses that they suffered in the offseason would indicate. But for Miami, something's just got to click at some point, and that team's going to live up to their potential. And now, am I the biggest fan of Tua? No, not particularly.
Same.
But, I mean, there are the NFL experts, the NFL insiders, they're talking Tua Tagovailoa for MVP.
I don't know if that's there yet, but you never know.
Yeah, you just started the new year. It's hard to say. You still got just an absolute monster wide receiver core. You have two running backs that are both capable, even though Raheem Mostert is a little bit older. You have a defense that should, in theory, be able to get the job done with a couple stars on there.
I'm glad you brought up the defense. I'm glad you brought up the defense. They drafted two guys on the defense, on the defensive side of the ball, one in the first round and one in the fifth, that I really like. And Chop Robinson in the first round, phenomenal edge player. He can play defensive end he can be down lineman on the at the defensive end spot. He can play linebacker and do some coverage, which I think is what the Dolphins are going to have him do more of. Just in the way they run that defense. Phenomenal player. And then out of Colorado State later in the fifth round, Muhammad Kamara. And another phenomenal linebacker. Again, could be dropped down to a defensive line spot, or could play in a linebacker spot. I got to watch him when I did the sidecast of Colorado State last year, and
what a debacle of a game that was.
That game was a debacle, but he could be really good. So that defense got better. The offensive line, the team as a whole, they're gonna have their stupidity and their divas. Like when you bring in fucking Odell Beckham Jr., you're asking for something dumb to happen.
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't get that move. Odell, let's be honest, his whole career is just, as much as the Giants tried, as much as Cleveland tried, he's not really a number one guy.
No.
He makes some flashy plays. He made one real flashy play, and that's why he's the name that he is. And I just don't know if it's really worth it at this point. Because, I mean, he's bounced around now. This is like his third team in 3 years, I want to say. Maybe even his fourth.
Yeah.
Because he was with Cleveland, and then he was with the Rams for like 2 minutes, and then he was a Raven, and now he's a Dolphin. And he's just been all over the place. So, I mean, the expectation should be pretty low for Odell. Let's be honest. He shouldn't be.
The thing that worries me with the Dolphins and Odell is he's just going to be is he going to want to be a distraction?
I think he might be past that. And it's hard to be the biggest distraction in a wide receiver room that also features Tyreek Hill.
That is true.
So if any receiver is going to be a distraction, it's going to be Tyreek.
That is true.
But, I mean, he's too busy. He's too busy trying to race Jordan Lyles. Noah Lyles, sorry.
Noah Lyles, yeah. So as long as this Dolphins team could be really good, as long as they keep Tua upright, because their backup, and they only have 2 quarterbacks on the roster as of right now, is Skylar Thompson. So
yeah, he was there last year.
Yeah, and even the year before. Yeah, I'm taking the over 2. I think this team could be good.
Yep.
You got anything else to add, or did we cover it pretty good there with the?
I think we're good.
The Dolphins. Moving on to the. Who we got next? New England Patriots in their first year of post Bill Belichick era.
Oh,
This team
yeah.
could be absolute ass.
This team, and I think the moves that they've made, like starting Jacoby Brissett over Drake May.
I'm gonna say I think that's a smart thing because.
Is it smart? Yeah.
I mean,
But
not
it
going to win
also
games.
signals. Yeah, it signals that they know that they aren't going to be good. If you have a team where you think like you can at least be fine, and you want to get that experience for Drake May, then he starts.
Yeah.
But you have a team right now where you could seriously damage your first round pick of a year ago, your next franchise quarterback, and they just don't find it worth it.
Yeah.
So there's that. I mean, Jacoby Brissett is a fine NFL backup. What if at the backup quarterback role, you're probably not going to find many better than Jacoby Brissett.
Agreed.
As your starter, oh boy, this has to be the first season in 25 years with 0 expectations in Foxborough.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single realistic Patriots fan out there that says, I'm looking at this team and I think they can even have a shot to make the playoffs.
Win total is 4.5. Odds to win the division are plus 2,600. Like I said, I think this team could be the worst in the NFL. Run their schedule because I think they may be able to win 1.
Well, they're not going to win. They might not win a single divisional game.
Week 1 at Cincinnati.
No.
Home against the Seahawks. I can't say yes. Yeah, exactly.
No.
At the Jets, at the 49ers.
No and hell no.
Home against the Dolphins. And then
No.
home against the Texans, and then Jags, and then Jets again.
Jags if they completely slip up, maybe.
So nothing against the Texans, and then not a second one, not against the Jets.
No.
Okay, so possibly 1. I think they're going to lose to the Jags.
That's the whole schedule.
No, I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I found 1 win.
No, I'm not done yet. By the way, their game against the Jaguars, 9:30 on the 20th of October on NFL Network. I believe that's a London game.
Oh, no. Oh, if it's 9:30 in the morning.
It's
yes.
9:30 a.m. in London. After the Jets on the 27th, this is, like I said, I think they're going to lose to the Jags. This is where their 1 win could come for me. At the Tennessee Titans on November 3rd.
Yeah, Titans are kind of in a similar spot. They got more talent, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
in a little bit of different places, kind of all over that roster. But
yeah,
I mean, yeah, no, I maybe 2. I haven't even found a sure win for them. I'm thinking maybe 2.
After the Titans, at the Bears.
Oh,
can't say yes.
Bears should have a defense this year. If something happens to Brissett, we could get a Caleb Williams, Drake May matchup.
Yeah. I can't say yes, though.
I can't say yes. That is a game that I could see them winning. I'm not a believer in Caleb Williams, and neither are you.
No.
But
I just can't say yes.
It's not a sure thing, no.
After the Bears, Rams at the Dolphins, home against the Colts.
I got no.
After the Colts, their final 4 games are At the Cardinals, at the Bills, home against the Chargers, home against the Bills to end the season.
So I'm thinking maybe 4.
Okay, that's more than me.
I think they could beat the Cardinals. I do.
I think
Even though the
could,
Cardinals got a lot better. But
that could be a 50-50 game late in the season. I agree.
But no, if the total is 4.5, and I'm sitting here thinking maybe they can win 4 games, I'm seeing 4 games on that schedule that are even possibly winnable for them.
Like I said, I think they're going to lose to the Jags. I think they could beat the Titans. I think they could beat the Bears. So like, there's 2 for me. Maybe beat the Cardinals for possibly 3. I think they're going to lose one of those 3 though too. Possibly 2 of those 3. Like, I think they might only win 1 game. They will be the worst team in the NFL, I think.
Yeah, I don't. They're gonna luck into a win. They're gonna get one. They're gonna get a win. They will not go defeated.
Yeah, I don't. I can't. No, I don't think they're gonna go 0-16 or 0-17.
I can't look at that team and say that they can win 5 games.
Yeah, they're gonna be so bad. And finally, in the AFC East, unless you have anything else to say for the Patriots, actually, I ask you a question: will we see Joe Milton at all for the Patriots this year?
Oh God! Now, if you listen to Patriots fans, Joe Milton's killing it in practice.
Of course he is, because it's September.
They're buying into the same shit that Michigan did and Tennessee did and the New England front office did.
Like, so I want to say one thing since I had brought Joe Milton up, because I was just wanting to get your opinion on it. I'm convinced that Joe Milton and DJ Uiagalelei are related somehow, because they do the same thing. People believe in them for some reason.
Well, you see,
are they the same person?
There were very minimal expectations for Joe Milton when he got to Michigan. Then it was just like, oh, okay, yeah, he's playing well, he's practicing well. Oh, he's named the starter, has a great first week, and then he was ass ever since. Went to Tennessee, great week 1, terrible the rest of the year.
September Heisman, week 1 Heisman.
Yeah, Joe Milton.
Practice Tom Brady.
Yeah. That is one of the greatest quotes of all time, though, is that Joe Milton is the Tom Brady of practice.
Yep. So I wouldn't be shocked if we see Joe Milton, just because he's going to be a sacrificial lamb. Possibly.
Probably. Well, because he can just go out there and do whatever he wants. He doesn't have that much to lose. No. And if he lights the world on fire and winds up being okay, good for him, but
it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
We aren't going to see him in serious game time, is what I will say.
Yeah, no.
Not that the Patriots are going to have a lot of that. Moving on to the New York Jets to round out the AFC East. Win total 9.5. Odds to win the division are plus 160. They have better odds to win the division than the Dolphins.
Yeah, that I don't get. Aaron Rodgers effect.
Yeah, they're banking on Aaron.
Guys. And then now all of a sudden, even after all the talk about Aaron Rodgers coming back like 4 weeks after he tore his Achilles last year, now they're even talking like, oh, hey, he might not be ready to go now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about what? The dude's like 38?
Yeah. 38, 39, 40.
I don't know.
ESPN has him at age 40.
Jesus Christ.
So again, 9.5.
I like the Jets defense a lot. Yeah. They should still be very, very good. I took them in fantasy. That's how much I believe.
You did.
But I don't know. So, yes, there are pieces all over that offense. They have some good receivers. Breece Hall is a dude. But But Aaron Rodgers is now apparently 40 years old. And now, as much as it would be hilarious to see Aaron Rodgers, I don't say this about many people, hilarious to see him get injured on the fourth play of the season this year. That probably won't happen. But does he even have it to get through an entire NFL season anymore? Who knows?
Yeah, I can't answer that question.
And what's the backup situation now?
Tyrod Taylor and then Jordan Travis if he is able to play this year.
Oh God. I love Jordan Travis. He's got talent, but Tyrod Taylor has been around a long time.
Yeah, you know who doesn't have talent?
I won't say that about Tyrod Taylor. He's a fine backup.
He has less talent than Jordan Travis, though.
Well, yes. He's also really old now, it seems.
That is also true.
Tyrod Taylor has been around forever.
So yeah, that quarterback room, other than Jordan Travis, is an old folks home.
Was he in the same draft class as Colt McCoy?
I believe so.
Like, what is that what we're talking about here? Oh God. Yeah, no.
Forgot Adrian Martinez, by the way. He's also in that QB room.
What?
You heard me say that.
Please tell me he was an undrafted free agent or something.
Yes.
Okay. That makes me feel a little better. He made the roster?
Yeah. Fucking somehow.
Getting 4?
ESPN has him listed as of right now. So maybe they just haven't dropped him yet.
What a wide receiver. He's one of those quarterbacks that need to be converted to like wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree.
But what was it, 9.5?
9.5. I don't think they're going to win the division. I think they can win 10 games.
10 games is feasible.
Especially look at 2 of their games are going to be against the Patriots. As long as Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, they'll win those 2 games.
Yeah.
They got a game against the Titans, and then they got the Broncos, Vikings also in there.
There's some bad teams in there.
They got a really easy schedule. They got the Steelers, they got the Cardinals, they got the Seahawks, they got the Colts. They got the Jags, they got the Rams, along with their division games.
Okay. Yeah, no, they can win 10 games if Aaron Rodgers can handle a full season. If he goes down again, it's probably all coming down again.
I agree.
So, I mean, that defense can only do so much for you. So, I will take a very cautious over.
Same. Moving on to the AFC South. The Houston Texans are where we start, the division winners. Win total is 9.5. Odds to win the division are an even 100, plus 100. Odds to win the Super Bowl plus 1,500. This is possibly a goofy division because it
is
Houston, which everyone thinks is gonna be good because they got better. You don't know what you're gonna get with Indy. You don't know what you're gonna get with Jacksonville, and then there's the Titans kind of just hanging around.
Yeah, I mean, it's a division where, like, who knows what you're going to get out of Indy? Because assuming we see a full season of Anthony Richardson,
yes.
I mean, not exactly a guarantee. Not a guarantee for any team, but still. Jacksonville just can't get to that next level. They're just fine. They're not real contenders. So,
Agreed.
and then the Titans are the Titans. So,
agreed.
This should be Houston's division. They got a lot better. You add a really nice receiver, really nice target for Stroud and Stephon Diggs, and that team was pretty good last year without all these new additions. So, I would say Houston rather is the easy pick to win the division, but I mean, like, you just never know what you're going to get out of Jacksonville, and Indianapolis, if they have a real guy at quarterback, that's going to be a good time for them. But I don't know. The win total on Houston,
9.5.
another interesting one. I think they can win 10 games. I'll take the over.
I'm taking the over. I think they could win 10.
Because it takes 11 to really lock yourself into the playoffs.
Yes.
And 10, it's a possibility. So I think they will be a playoff team. So yeah, 10's easy.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think this team's they got too good. Adding Stephon Diggs, they add Kamari Lassiter, cornerback out of Georgia, offensive lineman Blake Fisher out of Notre Dame, safety Kalen Bullock, tight end Cade Stover. I mean, not that they really need pass catchers.
No, but they got another one.
Yeah. They got... This team could be really good. Will Anderson is a dude. This team...
Yeah, breakout year for Will Anderson, maybe.
This team could be
he hasn't
good.
really already done it, but...
Yeah. This team could just be really good.
Like, Will Anderson enters that Myles Garrett type of breakout.
Yeah. So I think 10's just a really easy number here. They also had Joe Mixon in the running back room.
Yes. Yeah, they did do that.
Considering their running back room was Damian Pierce, Cam Akers, and Dare Ogunbowale.
No idea.
I've never heard of this dude, but he went to Wisconsin. He's been in the NFL for 6 years, apparently. Good for him.
Quick sidebar. The Detroit Tigers entered the 9th inning of tonight's game against the Padres, trailing 3-0.
Yes.
How about a Parker Meadows grand slam in the 9th to take the lead?
I would not have had that on my bingo card.
No. Bud is going to be so pissed.
If we see him tomorrow, because it's going to be miserable.
I hope we do, because he was talking shit to
On
me and
Wednesday?
Avery on Wednesday.
That's incredible.
Yeah, we got Yu Darvish pitching tonight. Then that was a close game. It was like 6-5. We blew that game.
That's incredible.
And then, yeah, no. Me and Avery are just like, come on, give the Tigers one of these couple games here. Like, we really need it right now. This team is somehow in the playoff hunt, and we could really use it. And and Bud's just like, no, San Diego's trying to win the division, man. We got bigger stuff to deal with. And I'm like, no, I want a winning record.
That's incredible. Moving on to the Colts, I don't have much else to say about the Texans. They could be really good. I don't know if they're there to win this. They're quite there to win the Super Bowl yet, so I feel like their odds at plus 1,500 are a little good. I just don't know if they're there yet.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
So unless you got anything else to say about the Texans, let's move on to the Colts.
To the Colts.
The Indianapolis Colts win total 8.5. Odds to win the division are plus 290. This.
Well, I don't think they're going to win the division.
I do not think so either.
As we just said, we think that's going to be Houston.
They got Jonathan Taylor, Trey Sermon's there, so I mean they got good running backs. Well, one really good running back, and then potential for a good running back in Trey Sermon. Quarterbacks are going to be an issue because their backup to Anthony Richardson is Joe Flacco, and then their QB3 is Sam Ehlinger.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Is Texas back?
Ask me on next week. They weren't back when Sam Ehlinger was there, though.
No, they were not. Christ. So, as we talked about with a couple of other teams, Richardson goes down, it's probably all going downhill, and they're a fairly well-rounded football team. They're fairly solid.
Nothing really like super flashy. I mean, their starting wide receivers are Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, who's currently questionable for week 1, and then Adonai Mitchell.
Yep.
Their tight ends are going to be a rotating room with Mo Alley Cox and Kylan Granson, Drew Ogletree. Offensive line solid. Defensively exists. Like, they're not bad.
It's not. It's fine.
Yeah. They're solid.
Yep.
Nothing that wows you, but
This-
solid.
This team might have one of the widest margins between the ceiling and the floor. Like, they really might.
Yeah, I will agree with that.
Couple things go wrong, they win 4 games. Couple things go right, they could win 11.
Yeah.
You just don't know. So, 7.5.
8.5.
Ooh.
I still think I could take the over here at 8.5. Just looking at their schedule, it's not the easiest, but it's not like super difficult. I could see them. They open week 1 with the Texans, and they go Packers, Bears. I could see them winning both of those. Steelers, I could see them winning that game. At Jags, I think they're going to win at least 1 game against the Jags.
They'll probably
Somewhere.
split against Jacksonville, yeah.
They'll sweep the Titans, so I'm looking at 1, 2, 3 possible, 4, 5, 6. After the Titans, they go Dolphins, Texans. At the Vikings, they'll beat the Vikings this year just because Sam Darnold. Most likely. 7. Bills, Jets, Lions, Patriots, 8, Broncos, 9. And then at the Giants. So I can see them getting 9-10.
Possible.
I'm going to take the over.
I'm on board with that.
Okay. So we're both going the over there?
Yep.
Like, yeah, you're right. This team could, like, they're either going to be they could either be really bad or they could be good. Moving on to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Win total is
Hell knows.
Win total is 8.5. Odds to win the division are plus 320. We've already talked about the Jacksonville Jaguars. You don't know what you're going to get. Somebody in this team, other than the Titans, has to lose games. So somebody in this division, I mean, other than the Titans, has to lose games. I think the Jags are going to be one of them. Just getting it out of the way now, I am taking the under.
Yeah, I'm going to go the under on that one as well.
By the
just
way, the number
because-
is 8.5, if I didn't say.
Yeah, 8.5. I'm going to go with the under on that because we're taking the over on the Colts. You know, there's got to be, even though we do say that they're probably going to split those games. I believe in the Colts a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I'm not certain I could tell you the name of a receiver on that team.
Gabe Davis is there.
Oh, well, there we go.
Gabe Davis, Christian Kirk.
I thought Christian Kirk left.
And Devin Duvernay's there.
Oh, that was Calvin Ridley.
Yeah. Other than that, some of the other guys they got on this receiving room, no idea. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't believe in them enough. The Jags have just kind of done that thing for the last couple of years where they're just like, meh.
And if Trevor Lawrence has to miss any time, we get some action
Oh, God.
and Mac Jones.
All right. That's where he wound up.
Yeah. So if
Hope you're ready for check downs all day.
and handing the ball off to Tank Bigsby or Travis Etienne.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty simple when it comes to the Jags. I'm just taking the under.
Yeah, like you don't know what you're gonna get, and somebody in this division has to lose.
Speaking of losing.
Speaking of losing, a team that very well could lose a lot of games in this division, or well, just in general, they may not win a division game, or they'll just
Probably not.
or they may split one with the Jags. The Tennessee Titans win
We
total.
don't even fully believe in this division.
Yeah, win total 6.5 odds to win the division, plus 950. They might not be the worst team in the NFL. They're gonna be bad. Will Levis is not good, and Will Levis is their only option now.
Mr. Mayonnaise Man himself, yeah, because Malik Willis is gone. So
where'd the Titans go? They're there. Will Levis is their only option. Mason Rudolph. Will Levis is their only option.
Oh God.
Yeah,
it speaks to how much they believe in Mason Rudolph that they're starting Will Levis over him. That's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good at all.
Yeah.
Titans are probably shaping up to have a top 5 pick.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think they're going to be...
Even though they do have... They have some receivers. However, Tennessee is where wide receivers go to die.
Yeah.
You have an old DeAndre Hopkins. You continue. They got Calvin Ridley on the weirdest deal of all time. And then I don't know.
And Tyler Boyd, which makes no sense because, again, air receivers go to die.
Mm-hmm. Where receivers go to die, they picked up 2 good ones in the offseason. I don't know. We'll see.
And the running back room, whatever reason we're giving Tony Pollard, who looked awful last year with no Zeke Elliott, over Tajay Spears.
Yeah, I don't get that one. I'm a big fan of Tajay.
Yep.
Hassan Haskins might see carries this season if he's still on that team.
I
think he's gone.
He is gone.
I think they just cut him.
Yeah. This team just... I don't think they're going to be worse than the NFL. They are going to be bottom 5.
Yeah, they're not New England bad.
No. Yeah, they're going to suck. Let's move on to the AFC West. There's nothing else to say about the Titans. They're just going to be bad. Moving on to the AFC West, the Denver Broncos. Another bad team from one to the next. Win total 5.5 odds to win the division, plus 2,000. Bo Nix is starting. That's really all I got.
Yeah. It's I don't know what it really tells you that Bo Nix is starting and Drake May is not. I think that's just how desperate Denver is.
Denver's options are Jarrett Stidham or Zach Wilson.
Yeah, it's a really bad situation there.
Yeah.
Don't believe in them at all.
Nope.
Their new uniforms suck.
Yep.
And the Broncos just haven't been worth a shit in a little while. And I don't really believe in Sean Payton anymore.
Nope.
I mean, you came out and said that the way that Nathaniel Hackett ran things in Denver was the worst NFL ran operation you've ever seen. Shit on the former head coach all season long. And then you were trash. You lost in one of the widest score differences in NFL history, if not the worst.
Gave up the second most points in NFL history.
73 points to Miami last year.
Like that. Could have given up the most had McDaniel wanted to set the record.
Yup.
Because Miami had their backups in and were still fucking scoring. Miami stopped scoring just because they wanted to go home. They wanted to take their ball and go home.
About that entire game was Russell Wilson was actually balling out that game.
Yeah.
Russ was having a good game. And then the Dolphins did what they did. No, I believe in them none. I don't even remember what you said their total was, but I'm taking the under.
5.5. I'm taking the under. Their best option, no Jahan Dotson, he gone.
Yep.
The best option now is Cortland Sutton. Get that poor man out of there. He's all right, but Bo Nix, I'm not convinced can throw a ball more than 20 yards down the field, more than 10 yards down the field.
He can't. He really can't.
Like, so
What was it? His final season at Oregon, over half of his passing yards were yards after the catch.
So this Broncos team, give me the under. They might be the second worst in the NFL. I don't think they're going to be Patriots bad. They also have to play the Patriots, and I think they'll beat the Patriots.
It's distinctly possible that they're down there with them, but
They do not play the Patriots. Never mind, but yeah, they're going to suck.
Yeah, no, I don't know. That's no expectations out of Denver.
None. Moving on to a team that has expectations. The Kansas City Chiefs, winners of several Super Bowls. Odds to win the Super Bowl this year at plus 550. Win total is 11.5. Odds to win the division minus 270. And like I said, Vegas has favors them to go back and win it again. I believe.
Again.
I'd say
Again.
This would be a three-peat for him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, live check, because this game, the Chiefs are currently playing in the NFL opener. Start of the fourth quarter, Chiefs 20, Ravens 17.
Yes.
Which is kind of to be expected. I mean, those are two teams with serious Super Bowl aspirations, so makes sense.
Yeah.
We'll see. Baltimore with the football. We will see.
We need 12 games. The Chiefs have a hard start with
they do.
Baltimore and then Cincinnati.
They do. They'll win. They might win both. Let's be honest.
They very well could. As a Bengals fan, I will say, yeah, they could very well win both Baltimore and Cincinnati. Weeks 1 and 2. And then after that, it gets really bad. At Atlanta, Chargers, Saints. It's bad. I'm not even good. Like, they have, like, looking at the schedule, it's probably, other than Baltimore, Cincinnati, San Francisco, it's probably one of the, and then Cleveland in mid-December. Like, they do have one of the easier schedules that we will see. Taking the over on 11.5. Like, this team's just too good.
They'll win at least 13 games. I mean, they're the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes, and the fact that Mahomes now has basically his new Tyreek Hill in Xavier Worthy. Where has the fuck it Tyreek's down there somewhere guy been on this team the last couple years, and they've still done what they've done? Hadn't been there. Now you got a guy who ran the fastest 40-yard time in combine history with Patrick fucking Mahomes.
Yeah, how did we let that happen?
Hey, I don't know.
How did the NFL let that happen?
It sucks.
Yeah.
I hate it so much. I hate this team so much. They're gonna win at least 13 games.
Agreed. Yeah, like that's it. That's right there. You said it.
They'll be in the AFC Championship game again.
Most likely. Unless something happens.
It's just where they seem to always be.
As long as, and it's been the case with this team forever, as long as they can keep Mahomes healthy, which can be hard at times, because their backup's Carson Wentz. I mean, we've said that. How many teams have we said that about that have aspirations to be good, and if they have something go wrong, they're bad?
You could have a good backup on this team, and they would still be terrible because this team is not that crazy. It's just Patrick Mahomes makes them.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, let's move on to another team that. Let me just say, if they were in the AFC West, they'd be very good. The Los Angeles Chargers, year one of the Jim Harbaugh era. Wow. I don't know why that was so hard to say. Win total, 8.5. Odds to win the division, plus 390. Plus 390 is a long shot in the division considering you have the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Chargers. I liked them before Jim got there.
I like the Chargers except for one thing, but go ahead.
The way that Justin Herbert's NFL career has gone has just been pain because he has absolutely been crazy. He has been very, very good in the NFL. Yet he was the victim of one of the worst head coaches I've ever seen, at least in terms of decision making, in Brandon Staley.
Brandon Staley is so bad.
And Brandon Staley did it in the good old-fashioned analytics way. That was his excuse. The only problem with the Chargers now is that they're probably going to do the same thing because it's just what Jim does. Not because of any analytics, just because he's a crazy man.
There's a couple screws loose.
Jim Harbaugh is probably just as risky as gambling Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen this man go for it on a whim from his own side of the field for no reason at all.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he do it in the NFL? Now, if Jim brings that Michigan offense to LA, oh boy, I feel sorry for Justin Herbert. I hope you're ready to hand the ball off 35 straight times. Even though that was Sharon Moore, not Jim, but still.
Here's the problem that I have with the Chargers. Their number one receiver right now might be Hayden Hurst, tight end.
Oh, a tight end, but
like they got Joshua Palmer, Ladd McConkey, who could be really good. He was great at Georgia. And then Quentin Johnston. And then either Hayden Hurst or Will Dissly starting at tight end. Like, this is a team that is going to be... They probably will be run heavy between Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, and Hassan Haskins.
Oh, Jim would.
Yep.
Jim would pick up Hassan.
I just now found this out.
Hassan Haskins for MVP. Hassan might start.
Very possible. Yeah, like in a division with the Chiefs, you do have to throw the ball. Who are you going to throw the ball to? Like, that's the only thing that worries me about this Chargers team. Division's bad. 8.5 wins. Give me the over there. They should make the playoffs.
I hope so. I really hope so. I'm big into the Chargers, so I want them to succeed, and I want Jim Harbaugh to succeed, of course.
So you're taking the over too?
I am.
Moving on to another bad team because this division has them. The Las Vegas Raiders. Win total 6.5 odds to win the division plus 1,000. This is a 2-team division. I don't even know what to say.
You know,
like,
all I'll say about the Raiders,
Minshew mania.
I really like their tight ends. Hey, back-to-back years drafting a tight end in the first round.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Michael Mayer is shaping up to be a pretty good player. Brock Bowers, for all intents and purposes, should be that dude.
Yep.
Problem was, you got way bigger holes than to worry about tight end again.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Yeah. When your quarterbacks are Gardner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell,
Gardner Minshew, who they had to go out and get.
Your RB2 is either Alexander Madison or Amir Abdullah, who I didn't know was still in the fucking league.
Yeah, he's been with the Raiders the last couple years. I feel like he was gone for a little bit, but yeah.
Like, great, you have Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers at wide receiver, solid. You got guys who can catch the ball. You don't really have anyone who can run the ball, and you definitely
lost one of the best backs in the game.
yeah, and you definitely don't have anyone to throw the ball.
Now, Gardner Minshew, he's in that same Jacoby Brissett territory, which is funny because they both played for the Colts, but he is a very, very solid, capable backup.
That can win you some games.
I don't know if he should really be the guy you're trusting your entire season and all of your success to.
Yeah, like
we saw how that worked for the Colts when they were forced into that spot. We've seen it. I mean, he's played meaningful games for a number of teams now, whether it be Jacksonville or Philly or whatever. And he's solid. He's not one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. He's probably like the 25th or 26th best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, accurate. Except you don't have anyone to really throw the ball. We saw how the Aiden O'Connell experiment worked last year. It didn't.
Oh, God.
And then you lose Josh Jacobs, one of the best backs in the NFL, and your options to replace him are some combination of Zamir White, who had 400 yards last year rushing, Alexander Madison, who I believe had 550, or ancient Amir Abdullah, who was last good at Nebraska.
He was a fine receiving back for the Lions for a couple years.
Okay, well, I'll give you that. Get Max Crosby off that team. Get him out of there. Max Crosby's too good to be wasting away in Las Vegas.
Please. Las Vegas, I'm begging. 5th round pick from the Lions for Max Crosby. I'll do it right now.
Fuck. It's authorized. There we go.
Holy shit.
6.5, they need to win 7. I don't think they're going to win 7.
I can't say that they're gonna, and we get into that same sort of territory where somebody's got to lose games, and the Raiders are a perfect candidate to lose games. Especially in a division with the Chiefs. They're going to lose both of those games, and then...
Yeah, screw whatever weird upset happened last year where... Like, I'm sure there might be some Raiders fan listening to, we beat the Chiefs last year with 0 offensive touchdowns. Screw that.
I really hope that person doesn't exist. That would be... No, please.
I mean, we know a Michigan State fan that thought they were going to win 11 games last year. So...
Oh,
yeah.
We do. Unfortunately, he's mellowed out now. When he asked me, a little bit. When he asked me for my prediction on Michigan State, I said 7-6, and he was fine with that. So,
like I said,
I mean, Raiders under.
Yeah, they aren't going to win 7. You got 2 teams in this division that are bad. You got 2 teams that are good. So let's move on to the AFC North. Baltimore Ravens, like I said, they're currently playing. Win total 10.5. Odds to win the division all are at plus 145. Odds to win the Super Bowl. The Ravens are now losing, by the way.
Yep.
17-27. Odds to win the Super Bowl are plus 1,100. This team went out and got Derrick Henry to go along with Lamar Jackson. Maybe they'll run the ball when they should instead of John Harbaugh just deciding to say, fuck it, Lamar, yeet the ball to wherever. 10.5. Give me the over.
Yeah, I mean, the Ravens are too good not to win 11 games, you would think. Especially in that division. Like, it's a good division, don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But Pittsburgh, you should be able to beat twice.
Yep.
And you should be able to at least split the series with Cincinnati and Cleveland.
Yes.
So you'll find your wins mostly outside of the division, but they'll get there.
Yeah, with games like the Raiders, you got an interesting one against the Cowboys week 3. then following one week 4 against the Bills. Those two could be interesting, but then you throw some just absolute shit bomb games like the Commies and the Buccaneers, the Broncos, the Giants.
Who knows what the Cowboys are going to be? I mean, their running back room would have been elite in 2019, but I don't know if they know this. It's 2024, so.
Yeah. The over's easy, even with them losing right now. This team is really good. As a Bengals fan, I am scared. Give me the over also.
Yep. Ravens are good.
To a team that might not really be good. Cleveland Browns win total 8.5 odds to win the division plus 450. Going back to the Ravens, their Super Bowl odds they had plus 1100. I believe they were fourth by Vegas. Browns though. Cleveland Browns to the Super Bowl. I don't know.
So there's some expectations with the Cleveland Browns this year, but I don't believe in post stupidity Deshaun Watson. I don't. You're banking probably very heavily on the success of Nick Chubb
if he's healthy.
Where they've not that's the problem. They haven't been able to keep him healthy at all.
And he's not.
And the one year he did, he set the world on fire. Yeah. But that's the problem when it comes to Nick Chubb. I just don't know. I want the Browns to be good. I don't know if they will be. I sadly have to take the under simply because it is a tough division.
Nick Chubb, I would be willing to take the over if Nick Chubb was not going to miss the first 4 weeks, guaranteed, and then possibly more. This is a division where somebody has to lose games. You got two really good teams, two serious Super Bowl contenders, and Baltimore and Cincinnati. I'm going to have to take the under because Deshaun Watson, for fuck's sake, the dude threw a football backwards last year.
Hell yeah.
Like, it wasn't a designed backwards. It wasn't a designed behind the line throw. He just got spun around and was confused and threw the ball 15 yards backwards.
It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Agreed. Like, Deshaun hasn't played a full season since he won the MVP. Like, he's not good anymore.
No.
Under.
No. Yeah, I'm sadly on the under on Cleveland. I look at me, Cleveland fans that might be watching this. I get the pain. Trust me, I do. Your team hasn't been good in a long time. My team wasn't good for a really long time, even longer than yours. So
yeah,
I want success for you. I just don't know if it's gonna happen.
And to build on some of it, like Deshaun, like I said, hasn't been healthy. Hasn't played a full season in forever. Their backups are Dorian Thompson-Robinson or Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston at this point in his career is a fine backup, and DTR
it could be exciting.
Yeah, he's another guy, and now I'm not comparing the skill set to Joe Milton by any means, but the expectations aren't super high if you were to get DTR in a game.
Oh, no.
No. Obviously, you want to see him go out there and do some crazy shit. But if it doesn't happen, okay, well, we tried.
Yeah. Like, okay, you got Amari Cooper and Jerry Jeudy as receivers on this team. Great. But
I mean, Jerry Jeudy's a big get for him, but I don't know if it's enough to help out Deshaun.
Yeah, it's like the Browns, because of Deshaun, and I don't know if you had heard this, they had to restructure his contract again. Like, the Browns are in cap hell. They're doing exactly what the Saints were doing with Drew Brees, but the Saints were at least able to get talent the back half of Drew Brees' career to be competent. Like right now, the Browns are getting like, okay, yeah, Jerry Judy's good, he's young, but Amari Cooper's not young anymore.
Oh God, no.
Like that's the talent that the Browns are able to get, like an aging Jarvis Landry or an aging OBJ, an aging Amari Cooper. They're able to keep there. Like,
Yeah, Amari Cooper played for the Raiders like 6 years ago, so
yeah,
I just
yeah.
it's fine. It's just
But yeah, he's a good player, but he's like, because the Browns are in cap hell because they were so eager to throw the money that they did at Deshaun. Like, they're not going to be really improving anytime soon, and
it's one of the worst trades, worst deals in recent memory. They gave up so much to get this,
it hasn't worked.
knowing everything that was going on, saying we don't care about the off the field shit. We want to win football games, and he can't even do that for you.
He can't even stay on the field either to do that. When he is, they aren't doing it.
Between injuries and suspensions, it's really hard. It's hard to beat Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. I mean, and when he is on the field, you're right, they can't win games. Let's move on to the Steelers.
Oh, boy.
Steelers, 8.5, win total 8.5, odds to win the division plus 750. Mike Tomlin's had voodoo for fucking ever. Like,
Hasn't ever had a losing season in Pittsburgh until 2024.
I agree. Like, they got some guys in the draft. Like, they got Roman Wilson. Well, that's a bad start.
Oh, the hell!
Peyton Wilson.
What did Wilson do? He doesn't deserve that.
It's just hilarious that that's the first name I saw.
When Wilson had a great year last year.
He did, actually. He did. Troy Fontenot, guard out of Washington. He's a dude. Linebacker Peyton Wilson out of North Carolina State, dude. It's just funny that third round pick Roman Wilson was the first name my eyes went to.
When it comes, this is all I'm gonna say about the Steelers. I don't believe that when you get to week 8, week 9, you get past the trade deadline. I don't think Russell Wilson's starting anymore.
I agree. I don't think Russell Wilson right now is questionable to start game 1 because of injury.
Yes, but if he's good to go, he's gonna be the guy.
No, I agree. I think Justin Fields will be starting at some point this season, even if Russell is healthy. Russ used to be great, and it's just not there anymore for whatever reason.
Right, and don't get me wrong, the dude can still ball out, but Justin Fields can do so much more for you.
Yeah. Najee Harris, I believe this is his final year in Pittsburgh. Get that poor man out of there. Najee Harris, you and I are on the same boat. Could be a fucking stud.
You know the sad part is that nobody likes to pay running backs anymore.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if anybody's going to look at Najee Harris and say that this guy should have been something and give him that chance. I don't think he's going to be out of the NFL, but I don't think he's going to be a feature back anywhere he goes. He really should have been. When he went to Pittsburgh, dude, I was so excited. I was like, "Oh my god, this is perfect.
This is the perfect spot."
Dude's gonna run all over." And Mike Tomlin, for whatever reason,
hates the man.
Can't use the man right.
Hates the man.
I don't understand it.
Killing
me.
Yeah, your receivers are George Pickens, who is not good. He's been nothing what people thought he was gonna be. Van Jefferson, who's ancient. Roman Wilson, who's currently questionable with injury, too. Pat Freiermuth, tight end, could be good if you can get him the ball. Defensively, they're going to be good with Larry Ogunjobi, Cam Hayward, TJ Watt. They added Patrick Queen. That man's a scary man.
Oh, yeah. The TJ Watt, Patrick Queen combination is frightening.
Mama, there goes that man again. That's all I got on that. With
Both of them.
with
And
Patrick,
now, granted, Patrick Queen isn't TJ Watt, but he's damn good.
he's damn. Alex Highsmith is solid. Minka Fitzpatrick is good at the safety position. Where are the points going to come from? Give me the under on 8.5.
Man. We usually play where are the wins? Where are the points?
In the NFL is not like college where you can win games Iowa style and win 10-3.
Punting from the 25-yard line.
You can't in the NFL. You got to score points. I don't think this Steelers team can. George Pickens is going to be getting in a fight with somebody, getting suspended at some point.
Sad part is that Pittsburgh might fire Mike Tomlin after this year.
Through no fault of his own.
After it would still be one of the greatest head coaching tenures of all time.
Oh God, yeah,
Like
easily.
you won a Super Bowl. You didn't lose. You didn't have a losing record until your final season.
Yeah,
And I mean, they've been talking about firing Mike Tomlin for years now.
like they just got unlucky with some really bad OCs in Matt Canada.
Oh,
Like that one really bad. You had
I'm surprised Matt Canada didn't succeed Brian Ferentz at Iowa.
yeah.
Hey, same colors and everything.
Right.
Just throw a sticker on all that Iowa stuff you got. I love Pittsburgh. I don't think it's going to be a very fun year for them.
No. Moving on, final team in the division, the Cincinnati Bengals. Win total 10.5. Odds to win the division plus 165. Odds to win the Super Bowl plus 1,500. You got anything you want to go here first, or you want me to go?
My opinion on Cincinnati is pretty simple. They are basically, I mean, outside of Tyler Boyd, they are pretty much the same good Cincinnati Bengals that we've seen for the last few years. And now Joe Burrow has got to stay healthy for this team to achieve what they want to achieve. Joe Burrow plays 16 of 17 games this year, maybe even a few games less, and that's a playoff team. You can't lose him in, I don't even know, week 5 or whatever you lost him last year.
Week 11 last year.
Oh, God, really?
Yeah.
It was just that bad down the stretch that everything fell apart.
Yeah.
And didn't you guys get off to a slow start last year?
Lost the first 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell,
they almost made the playoffs anyway.
I know, with Jake Browning. The only thing that really worries me about this, they lost Tyler Boyd, Trenton Irwin, Andre Isiavas are still solid. I can't believe I'm saying that about a dude who went to fucking Harvard and Andre Isiavas. Princeton.
Hey.
Ivy League school nonetheless.
Smart guy.
Yeah,
right colors to be in Cincinnati.
Yeah, they got a little worse in the running back room. They got Zach Moss. I don't think he's going to get. I think eventually Chase Brown is going to get majority of the time. Chris Evans is still on the team.
Now, so can we confirm or deny? Because we talked about this a little bit. Is that Michigan Chris Evans, or is that another man that you drafted at the running back position named Chris Evans?
Nope, that is Michigan Chris Evans.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I still don't know how that man got drafted.
I don't either. I don't expect.
What did they see?
I don't know. He's RB4 right now, and he's on the injured reserve.
Oh, Christ.
Jamar Chase is good. T. Higgins is good. They got a real tight end in Mike Gesicki. Eric All is there too. I don't know how often he's gonna play.
I'm a big fan of Mike Gesicki. I have been for a long time. He is a very solid tight end. He's not at that elite level, but he will definitely contribute. So
they got
on board with that.
They got Amarius Mims, offensive tackle out of Georgia. The dude is a fucking giant. and he could be very good. He's questionable for week 1 right now. Even if he doesn't play, they got Trent Brown there, so they'd be fine. Will Amarius Mims see playing time this year? I don't know. Hard to say. Offensive tackle, you just don't really know what you're going to get. Chris Jenkins, defensive tackle out of Michigan, was second-round pick. He is good. They also picked up another receiver to replace Tyler Boyd, Tremaine Burton out of Bama. Good. Like this team.
Go wrong with Bama receivers usually.
This team did not get worse. They stayed the same. So as long as Joe Burrow stays healthy, yes, they will be good. I'm going to take the over on 10.5. We got two teams that are just probably, the Browns are always underachievers, and the Steelers might be bad this year.
Yeah. Don't know if I said it. Over on Cincinnati, not by much. They win 11 games.
I can see them, like 11 or 12. I mean, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Split with the Ravens, so 7, 8. Yeah, I can see like 11 or 12. They're not going to blow that 10.5 out of the water. I, even as a Bengals fan, will say that.
Yeah, unless something just absolutely crazy happens.
Yeah. Moving on to the NFC East. We're starting with this division could be really bad.
I just hate this division. I hate this division ever since we were looking at, like, I don't even know, week 14, 15, every team was below 500. They all stunk. And as a fan of bad football, I love bad football.
This was bad football that year.
It wasn't fun.
That wasn't bad just because of like bad teams. That was bad because of just sheer incompetence that year.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting with the Dallas Cowboys. Win total 9.5, odds to win the division plus 175. It's the Cowboys. I'm taking the over because they always manage to find a way to get people's hopes up and be like, oh, this team could be good, and then they choke. So give me the over. That's easy. Like, I don't even have to look at their schedule. I'm taking the over. They'll find a way.
Yeah. They'll be a playoff team again. They'll probably win 10, 11 games. Ugly way of getting around it and ugly way of doing it and all that.
Yep.
It's Dallas. Their running back room is ancient, which is so bizarre. Like, they brought back Zeke Elliott.
Yeah. And he's their starter this year.
Uh-huh.
The youngest dude in their running back room is Deuce Vaughn.
Who's been around a minute.
Deuce Vaughn. He was at K-State this is his second year, I think.
Really?
This is Deuce Vaughn's second year.
Feels like he's been around forever. Maybe because I didn't really watch a lot of Big 12. That doesn't make any sense. Lines crossed, regardless.
Zeke Elliott, Rico Dowdle, whoever the fuck that is.
I have no idea.
Dalvin Cook. Like,
yeah.
This room is... Rico Dowdle is apparently only 27. That doesn't sound like a real name.
Running back years, that's ancient.
Yeah, like...
Especially for one I haven't heard of.
Outside of CD Lamb, the receiver room's not good. They're gonna win 10, 11 games and then get to the playoffs and find a way to suck.
They're gonna get off to a nice start, have a top 3 offense in the NFL. Oh my God, this is the year for Dallas. America's team's doing it. We've done this time and time again.
So much.
Jerry Jones is apparently the most fit man to be the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys. Nobody could ever do a better job than Jerry Jones, according to Jerry Jones. So I don't know. This team, Dallas is just so weird.
Yeah. I think I don't have anything to say other that I haven't said.
I'm on the over, but I don't like it.
Yep, same. New York Giants win total 6.5, odds to win the division plus 1,600. I'm taking the under because, well, Yeah.
Daniel Jones is
Daniel
still the
Jones.
quarterback. He's probably going to be the quarterback for a long time until they realize that they're not going to win anything with Danny Dimes.
They got two guys at receiver that I feel terrible for, Malik Neighbors and Jalen Hyatt.
Yes. Now, there have been plenty of bad quarterbacks that look very good when they have good receivers around them.
I don't think it's ever going to be Daniel Jones.
I just don't know. You lose Saquon Barkley to your division rival, no less. You didn't even, I believe it came out a few days ago, they didn't even offer him a contract.
Yeah.
They didn't even give him the chance to take less money to come back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no faith in the Giants. You're asking me to say that they're going to win 7 games, and I can't.
Same.
So,
like, even with two guys who are good.
I know the regime that called a QB sneak or whatever they did on 3rd down and 9. I know that regime is gone, but that is still what I think about when it comes to the Giants, and I have no faith in them whatsoever.
They got two guys on defense in Dexter Lawrence and Kayvon Thibodeau who good, but the rest of that defense stinks. The offense, other than Malik Neighbors and Jalen Hyatt, stinks.
Who even is their running back?
Devin Singletary or Tyrone Tracy Jr.
So Devin Singletary, who was just the guy by default in Houston.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yep. And it looks like he is going to be the guy by default in New York, unless Tyrone Tracy or Eric Gray all of a sudden do a thing.
Doubtful.
Yeah.
Sorry, Giants.
Under.
You blow.
You what's worse than blowing? Like, because
I don't know.
Like, this team is pretty close to worse than blowing. They're not going to be Patriots bad, but I don't think anyone is. So,
yeah, we haven't found a team that's that bad yet.
Yeah, I'm taking the under. I can't see 7 wins. I can't see 6, but regardless, the Philadelphia Eagles win total 10.5. Odds to win the division minus 140. Odds to win the Super Bowl plus 1,300. No Jason Kelsey. I have no idea who they're going to play at center. I don't think it matters. That team's... It might matter in terms of the ass shove. Cam Jurgens apparently is going to be the center. The rest of that offensive line is still going to be good.
Yeah.
And we got Saquon Barkley. Will Shipley will be spelling him. I do like some Will Shipley. He was a good running back.
The Eagles added a lot. And even up until the season started, they continued to add more players.
Yeah.
They scare me a good bit.
Yeah.
They are very much a collapse away from being the opponent that the Lions saw in the second round of the playoffs and not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But they just shit the bed down the stretch. I don't know what the fuck got into them. I am only slightly worried about the Eagles, but I think they're going to be okay. They got way too much better as a team that was already right there to not be good, to not be a playoff team. So what was their total?
10.5. Over. I'm taking the over, like I said. They added Jahan Dotson, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Saquon, we already talked about. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith are still there. As a defensive guy, I got to throw out some names here. Jordan Davis.
Oh, God.
He's large.
He's not a new addition, but yeah.
He's large. Obviously, Jalen Carter, Nakobe Dean, Josh Sweat. The worst player on this defense is CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Oh, fuck him.
Like,
Fuck CJ Gardner-Johnson for all that he is worth.
which
Isn't much to me.
No, I don't know. Like, they also got Keely Ringo on this team. Like, I don't know why they brought CJ Gardner-Johnson back. Like,
I don't know either, because he shit all over Philly on his way out.
like this team.
Shit on the fans, shit on the organization. And then after 1 year in Detroit, where all he did was tweet, because he didn't play, he got injured really early.
He played like 15 snaps all year.
He played a bit more than that, because he did play a little bit in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, he did. You're right.
And got a really weird interception off of Baker Mayfield, I believe.
Didn't he also get a bunch of fucking unsportsmanlike conduct penalties? Or was that
No,
different?
you have to be on the field for that. He probably did get a couple, but still.
That's true.
No,
Touché.
but he's just for a Lions team that was built all around like character guys, culture guys that just happened to be good at football. CJ Gardner-Johnson never made any sense. Dude gets hurt in like, I don't even know, week 2, week 3, whatever it
Really?
was last year, missed the majority of the season, and that he was still in the news because he decided he wanted to have Twitter beef with Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
It was just ridiculous. And then he changed his name, supposedly legally, to CD Deuce, even though that isn't apparently a thing.
I forgot about
You can
that.
tell I think very highly of CJ
I
Gardner-Johnson.
forgot that he had done that.
I am happy he is back in Philly. He can be their distraction and not mine.
Like, Darius Slay is still there. Like, they got guys.
Yes.
Why did they bring
They're loaded on offense and defense.
this team?
It's terrifying.
Oh yeah, and they also have Cooper DeHaan.
Yeah,
This team's good. Give me the over.
Darius Slay and Cooper DeHaan at corner.
And Keely Ringo. Why is CJ Gardner-Johnson here?
CJ's not a corner, he's a safety, but I don't know. Who's the backup safety?
Avonte Maddox.
I might start Avonte Maddox over Gardner-Johnson.
I would.
Avonte Maddox is good.
I would. Like,
I don't know. Maybe that'll be their downfall, and maybe that'll be a good thing for me, but I don't know.
like
The Eagles should be an absolute machine for this season. They aren't going to be able to keep this up forever. That team
no.
is going to fall apart soon, but this season is scary.
This season's scary. Yeah, I'm taking the over also. Let's move on to the Commanders. They're gonna suck. Win total for the Washington Commanders 6.5. Odds toward the division plus 1100. So I mean, they're not predicted the Giants suck. I'm taking the under because I don't think Jaden Daniels is going to be able to stay healthy.
There is that. Now, I think Jaden Daniels is going to be good for the Commanders.
Oh, I think so too.
I don't know.
This just in, by the way.
Protect him.
I guess not just in. I guess it happened yesterday, but it didn't make the news. Commanders fired the vice president for comments he made in a video about stuff.
Jerry Jones, mostly.
Nice.
And I think Roger Goodell.
Nice. Like, right now, because Marcus Mariota's injured, backup QB2 is Jeff Driscoll for the fucking Commanders.
How is Jeff Driscoll still in the league?
How is he in the league at all is what I want to know, because did you ever watch Jeff Driscoll? I did.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
He was on some pretty bad Florida teams. I want to say, I could be entirely mistaken. I feel like Michigan played Jeff Driscoll.
Probably. I believe so.
One of those like 3 seasons where we played you guys either scheduled or in a bowl game every year.
Like, I look at this team, like, they got some guy, like, Jaden Daniels could be really good. I just don't think they can protect him this year. Brian Robinson, I think, could be good as a running back. I like him. Fucking Austin Eckler's there.
Yeah.
Terry McLaurin, Noah Brown, good receivers. Zach Ertz, he's getting old. Solid tight end.
Lions legend Zach Ertz.
Lions legend Zach Ertz.
Yep.
Like,
Was on the practice squad for 1 week.
Defensively, like Jonathan
They're
Allen's
talking about retiring his number.
nice.
No.
Yeah. Defensively, they only got Jonathan Allen. They brought in Javonte Jean-Baptiste, who he was an Ohio State player until he transferred to Notre Dame. Loved JJB. He was great.
They also do have one of my favorite Michigan players of all time in Mikey Sanders still.
Yep, he is there. I was getting there.
Yeah.
But all of that with, like I said, I don't know if Jaden Daniels can stay healthy. Like Brian Robinson Jr. could be good, but this offensive line's not good. Noah Brown, Terry McLaurin, good wide receivers, but if Jaden Daniels can't stay upright, doesn't matter. Defensively, other than Jonathan Allen, Javonte Jean-Baptiste, which I don't know how he's going to turn out in the NFL. And Mikey Sanders show, there was a lot of just not good on this team.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the total win total is 6.5. You pick one first.
Jaden Daniels stays healthy enough that they win 7. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know. But I want success for the Washington football team, and I'm manifesting it now. I still call them the football team, damn it.
1. Yeah, you're talking me into it.
Okay.
You're talking me into it. I don't like it. 7. Like, I'm looking at their schedule. They play 2 against New York. I think they're going to be better than New York. Arizona's not going to be great. Carolina's not going to be great. Chicago, they could beat if Jaden Daniels is there. Pittsburgh, they could beat. Tennessee, like right there, there's 7.
All right.
I can see it. I can see you talked me into it enough. Let's move on to the NFC South. The Atlanta Falcons are a 9.5 win. Win total is 9.5. Odds to win the division -145. The Falcons team went and got good. I mean, they made the dumb decision of drafting Michael Penix Jr., which
Oh God.
I just don't get. I mean,
I don't get that at all, because at current projections, Penix isn't going to play till he's past 30 years old.
yeah,
Like, he may sit for 3 years.
very possible.
I don't understand it.
Um,
They are very talented
Yeah,
on the offense. Kirk Cousins is
good enough to win games.
good enough to win you games unless it's prime time. Drake London, hopefully the real Drake London breakout that everyone's expecting. Bijan Robinson started off last season as a dude, kind of fell off a little bit towards the end, but
I
he's a
blame that
rookie,
on Arthur Smith, though.
That'll happen. And Arthur Smith was just miserable.
Yeah, they got 2 guys in the running back room that are.
Kyle Pitts has a real quarterback throwing to him, possibly for the first time.
Yeah, there is
Assuming they use him.
also
That was the big problem, is that Kyle Pitts just couldn't get involved.
there is one thing that does worry me about this team. Like they got 2 guys in the running back room, and Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, who could be really good.
Mm-hmm.
They got Drake.
Both fairly serviceable last year.
Yeah.
I mean, Algier was still perfectly fine,
Oh,
even being the second guy to Bijan.
They got Drake London, who should have a breakout year this year with a real quarterback, and not Arthur Smith. The problem with that afterwards, like I said, Kyle Pitts also has a real quarterback, assuming they use him. Their wide receiver 2 and 3, and like I said, the most likely are going to run 3 wide receivers. They are Darnell Mooney and Ray McLeod.
Oh boy.
They have 2 good pass catchers. That kind of worries me. And defensively, they're just solid. They added Matthew Judon. He's a dude. They're just solid defensively in a division that's really bad. Give me the what was the total? 9.5.
9.5, I believe.
Give me the over. This division's gonna suck, but give me the over.
Yeah, I'll take the over on him. Too much talent on offense to not be able to put up some points and be pretty good. So, yeah, I'm good with the over.
This is where this division starts to suck.
Oh boy.
Carolina Panthers win total 4.5. Odds to win the division plus 1100.
I maintain that Bryce Young can't possibly be that bad.
I agree.
So 4.5?
4.5.
5 wins ain't that much.
No,
I'll
it's
take
not.
the over on Carolina.
I also am going to take the over.
Now, I mean, Bryce Young is still throwing the football to, like, Adam Thielen, but...
I'd say his receivers are Xavier Leggett.
Okay. They drafted somebody. That's good.
Then Adam Thielen, Jonathan Mingo, or Deontay Johnson.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah. Jonathan Mingo could be solid. I mean, last year was a really tough year for him as a rookie.
But you're talking about, like, your actual rookie in Leggett being probably wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
In terms of talent, anyway, they're still probably going to try and find Adam Thielen over anyone else, but...
The corpse.
I mean, my God, the guy's like 37.
Running back room, Chuba Hubbard. Right now, Jonathan Brooks is out with an injury, so it's going to be all Chuba Hubbard. He's going to be the bell cow. He could be solid. Dave Canales' offense. Behind him, it gets pretty bad until you get Jonathan Brooks back with Miles Sanders and Raheem Blackshear.
Final score in Chiefs-Ravens, 27-20.
I did just
yeah.
look
Apparently
up and saw that.
got interesting.
But yeah, give me the over here too. Like 5's a low number.
Yeah.
In a division that is again really bad.
I hate the owner. I like the team a little bit.
Fair enough.
David Tepper is the new Dan Snyder.
Not wrong. I can't argue that.
Christ alive.
New Orleans Saints win total 7.5. Odds to win the division plus 490. I don't know what to do with this team. They got Kool-Aid McKinstry.
They do.
Other than that,
They may have a defense. But let's play a good old-fashioned game of where are the points.
That's like who's good?
Where are the points?
Yeah, you still got Alvin Kamara there. He's slowly falling off. Can Derek Carr get the ball to Chris Olave? Rashid Shaheed is wide receiver 2. Wide receiver.
He's a kick returner.
Yeah, he's a kick returner. That's how bad their wide receiver room is. Wide receiver 3 is either going to be Bub Means.
What?
Did you not hear what I said?
No, I don't think so, no.
Wide receiver 3 is going to either be Bub Means, B-U-B, Means, I gotta know
Alright.
where this guy came from now. Are we back to the finding random fans for fucking Drew Brees to throw to? No. Bub Means, 5th round pick this year from Pitt.
I can't say I watched a lot of Pitt games. Okay.
After Bub Means, your options for wide receiver 3 are also A.T. Perry or Mason Tipton.
Who?
Yeah. So your receivers are Chris Olave, a kick returner, and then your tight ends are either Juwan Johnson or Taysom Hill. So what is
I
this?
thought Taysom Hill retired.
I thought he did too, but apparently not. So like, yeah, where are the points going to come from? The total is 7.5 wins. I'm taking the under because I don't know where the points are going to come from.
Super Bowl this year is held at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. The New Orleans Saints will not be in that game. They will not make the playoffs, and they will not win 8 games.
Been pretty agreeant on this, but like the teams that it's hard to argue with all of these win totals.
So I don't believe in a healthy Derek Carr. I really don't. They paid him a good chunk of money because he was the best thing that they could get their hands on. But
Do you want, since you're saying that, do you want to know who QB 2 and 3 are?
at least QB2.
It's either going to be, because I don't even know if this depth chart is true, Jake Hayner or Spencer Rattler. I don't know who Jake Hayner is.
Remember when Spencer Rattler was supposed to be the number 1 overall pick?
I do, and Jake Hayner apparently from Fresno State in year 2 now. And this dude looks exactly what you would expect. He has a rare skin cancer. I'm not going to say anything bad about him.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
ESPN, thanks for that, after the fact. This defense could be good with Cam Jordan and Chase Young.
Might be playing to a lot of 17-7 games.
Tyrann Matthews back. There's there. Marshawn Lattimore. Like, they could be good. But yeah, they're not going to score points. Yeah, I do remember when Spencer Rattler was supposedly going to be QB1. He was picked in the 5th round, about 20 picks before the Saints picked Bub Means.
Good for New Orleans.
Yeah, they're going to be bad. Final team in the NFC South. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers win total 7.5. Odds to win the division, plus 310. This is an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly.
Baker Mayfield really had a nice prove-it year last year. You still got Godwin. You still got Evans. You still have Cade Otton, who's a fine tight end.
Yep. You have a real RB2 this year in Bucky Irving, behind Rashad White.
Yeah. What was the total?
7.5.
God, really?
Yeah, they got a decent defense still.
I'm not gonna think about this too much. I'm gonna go over on the Bucks.
I am too. The backup is Kyle Trask, so that's not good.
Yeah, no, that's not good. But I want to say Kyle Trask has been there even since Brady was there. So
Yes. This is an easy one. This is probably one of the easiest ones that wasn't the Kansas City Chiefs. Give me the over.
yeah, I don't know if we're just living in last year and they lost more than we think that they do. Because like low win total, I know this is a weird equivalency to put in here, but they're a really low overall rated team in Madden. Not a lot of people seem to be believing in the Bucks, so I don't know. I'll believe in them. I like Baker.
Fair enough. I think they can be good. Again, and I've said it about the entire NFC South of that division. This is the one division that if a team, this would be the division if there was one this year that a team that makes the play comes out to make the playoffs is below 500.
It's possible, but I
Unlikely.
don't think it'll happen.
Moving on to the NFC West. The Arizona Cardinals win total 7.5 odds to win the division plus 1,300. They added Marvin Harrison Jr. He's a dude.
Mm-hmm.
They added Darius Robinson. He's a dude. They added Max Mountain, Trey Benson. They're dudes. They added some dudes. They had a good draft.
They could be a little bit of a surprise team that makes a really solid jump, even though I'm not fully sold on them yet because I'm not sold on Kyler Murray.
Yep.
Marvin Harrison Jr., I think without a doubt, Heisman be damned, was the best player in college football last year. And it all intents and purposes, he should just be an absolute stud in the NFL.
Yeah.
Trey Benson is going to be hopefully a big improvement for them in the running game.
Over James Conner.
I was gonna say, I mean, we're trying to improve from James Conner here. So the bar for improvement, the bar to get over is pretty low, but still, Trey McBride, very, very good.
One of the best young tight ends in the game right now. One of the best tight ends, period.
Yeah.
Not just young.
Yep. Also, a fantasy draft pick of mine, by the way.
That was a good pick. Defense worries me.
Yeah, the defense is where everything's gonna fall apart for Arizona.
Zayvon Collins is there. DJ Owari is not going to be the start of the season because he is injured. You still got Buda Baker there, back at free safety. Then you
Buda Baker's been there.
Yeah, Buda Baker's been there.
Made a difference.
Like he can't help that defense. Like,
when the rest of your defense is that bad, you can be as good of a player as you want.
Yeah.
It don't
Yeah.
matter.
This defense worries me. Win total was what, 7.5?
Yep.
This is one of the hard ones. Let's see. I think they'll split with the Rams. Beat the Commies. Lose both to San Fran.
Yeah, they have to.
1, 2, 3, 4. Split the series with the Seahawks, maybe. 5,
Depends on-
6.
Seattle could sweep them. They could sweep Seattle. Who knows?
Yeah, I can see. I'm looking at 7 definitely. I need what, 7? I need 8. Okay, give me the over.
That's kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of in fuck it, give me the over territory.
Give me the looking at it. Like, give me the over. Like, they'll find a way to stumble into a win against like the Chargers or maybe the Bills
Just
week
gonna have to
1.
sacrifice another team in this division, but we'll get to them when we get to them.
Yeah. Next team. The LA Rams win total 8.5 odds to win the division plus 330. They got the second best odds to win this division.
Hmm.
I need what, 8.5? I need 9.
Mm-hmm. I
Loss.
think the Rams. The Rams might be the team that gets screwed over. They
I think
might
so.
be the
I'm-
team. Seattle didn't really. I don't know if Seattle really did much of anything.
I don't think so. I think the big thing with the Rams, and this is why I want to take the under, you lose one of the best defensive players we've seen in our lives, at least, in Aaron Donald.
That is a very, very hard thing to replace. Impossible to replace.
So I just don't know, like, this. Braden Fisk out of Florida State was a dude. So was Tyler Davis. They're both good players in college. Both very good defensive tackles in college, but they're not Aaron Donald. No one's going to be Aaron Donald. So I think Your running backs are going to be Kyron Williams or Blake Corum.
Now, Kyron Williams had a good year last year.
He did.
He was solid. They had the breakout of Puka Nacua.
I don't think you can take that 2 years in a row, and Cooper Kupp is slowly aging as well. So
Speaking of not slowly aging, one Matthew Stafford.
yeah, if he gets hurt, that's in Bennett time.
Oh God, no!
Because Jimmy Garoppolo is
he's not a QB. Garoppolo's suspended.
for however long.
I don't think that long. 4 games.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh God.
So
I don't want to live in a world where Stetson Bennett is playing an NFL football game.
meaningful one. He played a preseason game.
Well, I know that.
So
but-
yeah, a meaningful one.
yeah, and he threw 4 interceptions.
Yeah, he was bad.
Got that dub though. Did I ever tell you about that?
Yeah, that that matchup between Stetson Bennett and Trey Lance, I'm surprised the world didn't end. It was that bad. Cancel NFL preseason.
The Rams and take the under on them.
Yeah, so
Not
am
just
I.
because they're the Lions' Week 1 opponent.
I just don't see where they're like. Matthew Stafford is aging. I don't know. Like Cooper Kupp is aging. I don't think you're gonna get the same thing out of Kyron Williams and Puka Nacua this year as you did last year.
Puka's gonna get a lot more attention. Cooper Kupp might get a little bit less. Maybe a big year for Cooper Kupp, but
The thing is, McVay loves running 3-4 wide receivers.
yeah.
Your other wide receivers are Tutu Atwell, Demarcus Robinson, or Jordan Whittington.
All of which, outside of Whittington, that's not a name I'm familiar with. I think those were all there before.
They were, but it's just like you're not gonna get a lot done with them.
They got really hot down the stretch. Everyone wanted to talk about how nobody wanted to see the Rams in the playoffs, and then we saw the Rams in the playoffs, and well, what happened happened.
Yeah.
We forget that the Rams were a pretty bad football team for about half a season.
Yeah, and I think that makes it even easier to take the under.
Yeah. I'm on board.
Moving on, the San Francisco 49ers win total 11.5 odds to win the division, minus 190 odds to win the Super Bowl, plus 600 over.
I can't not take the over. Unless we finally find the answer to Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy, this team is going to be insane.
Yep.
The NFC is loaded with pretty much every division outside of the NFC East has that one team where you're just like, oh boy.
Yep.
And really, you could argue that I'm only including the Lions just because they're the Lions. The Lions defense is a whole different topic, and we'll get to that later. But
yeah.
I mean, the Eagles and the 49ers are just
Scary good.
crazy. And they've got the Ayuk situation figured out. They extended Trent Williams, which wasn't even that big of a deal. Like, he wasn't going to hold out. They just did that.
Like this team is good. It's so easy to say over on that.
It's just unfair to have Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, a great offensive line, a good defense, some of the best defenders in the entire NFL, Fred Warner. Like, come on, man. This team is ridiculous.
And they got Kyle Juszczyk.
Hey, we love fullbacks.
That's fullback in the
Kyle
NFL.
Juszczyk. Yes.
Some good news on the.
It's not very many, but
No, there
yes.
isn't. Good news. We didn't cover this in the news with the 49ers. Ricky Pearsall is. He was at practice today. He obviously did not practice after getting shot last week.
But we did hear. I heard that he was in the weight room.
I did hear that as well.
Yeah.
Ricky Pearsall, I loved him at Florida. He was one of the lone bright spots on a very bad Florida team. He was their number one or their first round pick. So good to see him. Good to see that he was at least attending practice.
And hey, good for Avery. Pearsall might not miss the entire season.
This team's just too good, though. Like,
They're ridiculous.
they're ridiculous. And the final team, final team in the NFC West, the not San Francisco Seahawks, the Seattle Seahawks. Win total 7.5, odds to win the division plus 700. I can't take the over. I just can't.
Mathematically, I don't know if I can either.
Like, Geno Smith is their quarterback. I don't care how good Kenneth Walker is going to be. I don't care about the fact that DK Metcalf is good, that JSN is good.
Tyler Lockett exists.
Tyler Lockett's not bad. Like, their defense is not good. And Geno Smith or Sam Howell are just, they aren't good.
Smith
Isn't bad, but he's just not.
Yeah, I mean, really nice career turnaround in Seattle for sure. He was a big time bust, and now he is not. He's a bust based on his draft position, but he's not a true bust.
Agreed. I'm just looking at their schedule, trying to find a way if I can get to 8. Broncos, Patriots are 2.
Yep.
Giants 3. Split one with the Rams for 4.
They can beat Arizona once.
Split one with the Cardinals for 5. Vikings 6. Most likely Bears 7. I don't know.
Somebody fucks up and they get it. Over.
They end the season with the Rams. I think they can get it there.
All right.
Like I said, like we both agree that the Rams are a team that they're going to get screwed over and not get the over, definitely. Let's move on to the North. Chicago Bears have a surprisingly high win total, in my opinion, at 8.5.
Oh, God.
Odds to win the division plus 340. This Bears defense is going to be better than it was last year. They got Caleb Williams. They got Rome Odunze. I am high on Odunze. I'm not so high on Caleb Williams.
But he makes his teammates pick up trash in the locker room, man. Captain material.
They got Torrey Taylor out of Iowa, punter.
Yeah, that may be a more impactful draft pick than Caleb Williams.
This Bears team is going to be better than they were last year, which obviously is not hard to say.
Yeah, and I mean, so the Bears were a funny team last year. They beat the Lions once. They should have honestly swept the Lions outside of one of the stupidest comebacks I've ever seen as a Lions fan. Usually that happens to us.
That's true.
I just don't believe in Caleb Williams that much.
For them to have a winning record.
Not to win 9 games, no. When you guys take on the Packers, which the Packers just, even when you have a better team than Green Bay, they own you. They always have. You don't have a better team than Green Bay. Not right now.
Yep.
So you could get swept by Green Bay. If the Lions are not gonna fuck around with the Bears this year, you could get swept by the Lions. Now you will sweep the Vikings, most likely.
Yep.
Your defense is good enough to stop Sam Darnold.
Yep.
So there's that, but I can't say they're gonna win 9 games.
No, like I said, they got two good receivers in DJ Moore and Roma Dunza. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep Caleb Williams upright enough to get the ball to them. Keenan Allen is big.
Old
and big.
Old and big.
I got to take the under. I don't think they're going to win 9 games. They're going to be better than they were last year, but not 9-8, not winning record.
Yeah, I think they're better talent-wise, but it takes time to put that together.
Yeah. Moving on. We have the Green Bay Packers. Win total 9.5. Odds to win the division plus 210. I think they're going to. This is a 2-team race in this division.
It should be.
I want to know one thing, and that's why did the Packers take a quarterback in the 7th round, other than the fact that it was just the 7th round, and it's the Packers.
At that point, it's the 7th round. Who really cares? Odds are you're not really getting an impact player. That makes even less sense that they added Malik Willis.
Yeah. What are we doing?
A week or so ago.
What are we doing? I mean, I get they didn't have a real backup last year.
No.
I mean, not that Malik Willis is anything great, but better than nothing, I guess. They added one of the best running backs in the league with Josh Jacobs.
No. But will they use him?
Yeah, that is a question.
Aaron Jones was always very, very good. He wasn't at that Josh Jacobs level, but they couldn't decide who they wanted to use. As a 3-time Aaron Jones fantasy owner, I'm well aware of that fact, because some weeks Aaron Jones would go off, and then some weeks he'd get 3 carries and A.J. Dillon would carry the load.
They're going to have to use Josh Jacobs to start, because A.J. Dillon's on the IR. Marshawn Lloyd and Emmanuel Wilson are both questionable, so right now they have one healthy running back for week 1.
Awesome.
Oops. This team's solid. They're just solid all over the place. They added Javon Bullard. This team could be good. I don't think they're going to be better than the Lions, but I am going to take the over at 9.5.
I am just sitting here praying that the second half of last season, where Jordan Love looked damn near exactly like Aaron Rodgers, is just a complete dose of luck for the Green Bay Packers, and that he's really not that great. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, because
Okay,
I hate Green Bay.
That's fair.
I hate Green Bay. It is just absolutely not fair that they can continue to get away with this shit. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and then Jordan Love is acting like Aaron Rodgers out here, doing some Aaron Rodgers shit, and I don't like it. They are going to be probably a good football team for the most part. The question remains of who Jordan Love will throw the football to.
Yeah, the receiver core is Christian Watson, Dobbs, and Jaden Reed is.
It's the same as last year.
Yeah.
The exact same as last year. And, like, does Jordan Love get the most out of those guys? Yes. But it's not really that good. If Christian Watson's your number 1, we're in a bad way. And it's just the same shit that they did with Aaron Rodgers. They, for whatever reason, don't care about drafting receivers. They just want to draft quarterbacks and defensive players, I guess. I don't know. But 9.5, I'll take the over on them.
I figured. Yeah. There's 2 teams in this division. Well, there's one team that could be really bad that we're about to talk about, and then we don't know what you're going to get with the Bears. So there should be 4 wins for the Packers. Lord knows they'll find a way to somehow beat the Lions. Probably, maybe in Lambeau.
Maybe.
Hard to say. They'll find a way to get 10. At least.
Lions have beaten the Packers the last 2 times at Lambeau. And we lose at home.
That is true. Moving on, the Minnesota Vikings win total 7.5. This win total is most likely set before FanDuel set this most likely before JJ McCarthy got injured.
Yeah.
That's the win total 7.5 odds to win the division plus 850. Like I said, Sam, like we've said all show, Sam Darnold's the starting quarterback, at least ever since we got to probably anybody that's had to play the Vikings. I gotta take the under here.
Yeah. Well, and they lost too much as well. Like they have some nice additions on defense.
They did.
But they also have some losses.
Yes, they do.
And you lose your sure thing in Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
Who was able to win you a good chunk of games, even though he got off to a terrible start with Minnesota last year.
Yes.
Vikings were putrid even before Kirk Cousins went down. But you have talent and some very elite talent at some positions.
Yes.
Justin Jefferson is still going to be one of the top guys in the NFL. Even though Sam Darnold's throwing him the football, he's just that good.
Yep.
However, Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, who is either suspended or about to be suspended, I think.
Yes.
I just can't see them winning 8 games. And there has to be another loser in this division. Especially with the Bears projected to take a big step forward. The Vikings should be the one, in theory, to take a step back. So, under for me.
Yes, they were able to bring in Aaron Jones. Right. Sam Darnold's not good.
But Aaron Jones, I'm not certain is right in the head. I mean, I heard this man talking on Good Morning Football the other day, saying that he wanted to play till he was 40. At the running back position.
Alrighty.
They said, they asked him, they're like, well, we've heard quotes that said you wanted to play till you were 37. And he's just like, shit, why not 40?
Right.
Now, I like Aaron Jones, but he's getting older already. And
yep.
I just don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know what to say about that. That's Jalen Naylor's there, he's decent.
Speedy Naylor.
But other than that, like I said, it all comes back down to, even with their skill position guys being solid, Sam Darnold's throwing the ball, and then you lose Danielle Hunter, your best defensive player. And your cornerback room is led by Stephon Gilmore.
That's great in 2017.
I would say this cornerback room would have been great at one point. Not anymore.
Probably not.
Yeah, they aren't gonna win. What was it? 8.
7.5. Yeah.
Yeah, under. And finally, Detroit, and of course it wouldn't be a podcast if I didn't misspell something. This wasn't even like an intentional Detroit loins.
That's kind of funny. And I noticed that in the notes when I was looking over these, that it was spelled Detroit loins, and that's a little bit of a meme over here. So
wasn't even a intentional Detroit loins.
I think that says Lions.
It does.
I don't know.
The Detroit Lions.
Lions.
It does. Detroit Lions. The win total's kind of low, so I haven't looked at their schedule.
It's a tough one.
Is it? Okay. Win total 10.5, odds to win the division plus 125, and the Detroit Lions with Super Bowl odds. Did you ever in your life think I would be saying Detroit Lions Super Bowl odds, at least when it comes to being like top 8?
I was certainly hoping so, but I mean, I thought we kind of went through that, and for the most part, we did. Like the high point of the Lions in my lifetime, when Stafford and Calvin Johnson were there. And then you look back at those teams, and you're like, "Wow, we really were pretty bad."
Odds to win the Super Bowl plus 1,200. That is the second in the NFC. Actually, I'm sorry, second in the NFC. I believe
better than the Eagles, right?
Better than the Eagles.
Okay.
Behind
the 49ers.
Behind the 49ers. I believe that's third overall. Behind the Chiefs, 49ers, Ravens.
Well, you took a team that did what they did a year ago, and you addressed needs on the team without getting desperately worse or without giving up too much of your future.
I'm going to build on that. They did the best thing, and we talked about this, man, a little while ago. The best thing that they did was get rid of CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah.
They overall got better.
Now, we don't know if the defense is going to be even good. I mean, who knows? They were fine, I guess, last year. At times. And then other times they were terrible.
Yeah.
But you got better at corner. There's not a single starter at corner who's starting this year. You went out and made a trade for Carlton Davis, which is, a loss for Tampa Bay. Instant improvement there. And then you go and get Terry and Arnold in the first round. It's just instant improvement. And then even if Terry and Arnold, something happens to him, you go get N.S. Rakestraw as well out of Missouri. He should have probably been picked way higher up in the draft. Same with Arnold. And yet they kind of fell into the Lions' lap a little bit. It's like not to the same extent, but how do you let corners like that fall to a team that desperately needs a corner, like we let Xavier Worthy fall to the Chiefs?
Yeah.
How did we let it happen?
You got two really good corners in Arnold and Rakestraw. But I'm not going to talk about those two guys because you got someone else on this team that I love way more than both of them.
Oh, boy.
In this past draft. Sione Vaki.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking love that man. He was a stud at Utah. And Utah puts out a lot of great players. I love what Kyle Whittingham's doing over there in Utah. Vaki is a fucking legit player. The Lions moved him over to running back. He can play defensive back. He can return kicks. Whether he's playing safety, corner, he did it all against he played quarterback against USC. He was single-handedly beat USC for Utah last year. He is a fucking stud. I am really excited to see what he can do. I don't know how much playing time he's going to get.
Well, and so the beautiful thing about his playing time is going to be how versatile he actually is.
Yes, I am excited to see what he can do for Dan Campbell. He's
likely going to force his way onto the field with how many wrinkles Ben Johnson likes to throw into that offense. He's going to have some sort of impact.
Yes.
No doubt. Realistically, he should return kicks instead of Khalif Raymond, but I'm not sure if that's happening.
You never know. When on day 2 or 3, I can't remember. I think it was day 3 because it was 4th round pick. Early 4th round pick when the Lions picked him up. I loved that pick for y'all. Mm-hmm. He is an absolute stud, and he was one of those guys when he was floating around. The Bengals necessarily didn't need someone like him. But I was really hoping the Bengals were going to pick him up, and then y'all did. Love that pick for y'all.
And another underrated pick that I don't think is getting as much love, and it may not be a big impact this year, but Mekhi Wingo.
That's a good defensive
tackle.
That was a good pick.
when we desperately needed defensive tackles and just defensive linemen in general, if something happens to Aleem McNeil or Levi Onwuzurike, I'd love to see what Wingo can do. There's still a little bit of question on defense. Who knows how well this defense is going to perform together? And on offense, this is a season where Jameson Williams has to establish himself as wide receiver 2.
Agreed.
He's not surpassing Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's not going to happen.
Also agreed.
But, I mean, in terms of an offense, when your only question is, who's the second one? We're in a good spot. We lose one offensive lineman in Jonah Jackson. Lose him to the Rams. Not exactly a big deal, because we already had a guy on the roster in Graham Glasgow who played in that spot various times throughout the season. He was the sixth man of the offensive line really all year long. So that's phenomenal. And then we had depth from a couple drafts previous that should be able to fill in as well anyway.
And then there's one other addition, and I don't know if he's been cleared to play yet. You guys had DJ Reader. I loved him on Cincy.
I don't know if he's been cleared either. Last I knew, he was trending in the right direction, was the quote.
He, as a team that you guys needed an interior defensive line, he's good. Hopefully, Jack Campbell can be really good. That way, maybe I see less Alex Anzalone on my screen this year.
Well, Alex Anzalone's outside now, from what I understand, so...
That's better.
I guess.
Hey.
Yeah. No, Jack Campbell didn't have the breakout that we were hoping for, but at the same time, in terms of positions to transfer over to the NFL from college at,
That's a hard position.
Middle linebackers damn near the toughest.
Yeah.
So, and he didn't play bad by any means.
No.
He was perfectly solid.
No.
And then hopefully big second year out of Brian Branch after a really big first year. That man made plays just from the immediate start of his rookie season. So obviously I am gonna go over on the Lions. Not by much. They were at what?
10.5.
Yeah, I don't think they're not gonna win like 15 games or anything crazy like that. Lord knows Dan Campbell's gonna go for something stupid at some point. And also something to think about, and even though Dan Campbell's not ever going to kick field goals unless somebody really, really pushes hard for them to kick a field goal. But we did get Jake Bates out of the UFL.
He did, yes.
Who's kicking 60-yarders. So
yeah.
I'm on board with that. And more field goals would probably mean a better overall outcome for the Lions, let's be honest.
I'm not taking the under. I can't.
No.
It seems good. I wish I could be contrarian because, like I said a little earlier ago, like the way this thing's kind of worked with the NFL last week with the college football preview, with Big Ten preview, we were able to disagree a little bit. The NFL, you just can't this year.
Yeah, no, it's
so
a whole lot different. Now, there's going to be some teams that break out and surprise us a little bit and make us totally wrong.
Yep.
Little worried the Bears are going to be one of those, but I'm not, once again, super sold on Caleb Williams, but
yeah.
I'm always, for the most part, very hopeful when football season comes around for the Lions. As you know, living in the state of Michigan, most people aren't.
No.
This is really the first time, even more so than last year, when there were people that believed that we could win the division, make the playoffs, which we did. This is the first time in a long time that people are like, okay, I believe in this team. Now, we'll really know that the Lions are here when Jerry believes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that day will ever come.
Jerry or Tim?
I don't think Tim believes.
Definitely not this year. He may never because he's just so old.
And the grid hat on at work, and he didn't know what it meant. And I'm just like, oh, it's a Detroit Lions thing. He rolled his eyes.
Let's move on to the picks. Like I said, I can't take the under. That 10.5 is too low. Like I said, 10.5 is too low. I can see this Lions team winning 12 games.
Yeah, I mean that's fine with me.
Let's move on.
Get to the playoffs. That's all I ask. Quick break. Speed pee. We've been here a long time.
Yes, we have. I guess we'll take a stoppage. That works for me. Are we ready?
Well, we timed that almost perfect.
My dog didn't fuck up my bed. I probably would have been sitting down at the same time.
Right.
The picks.
We are ready. It is time for the picks.
We did not.
Sucked.
Hi, dog.
Hi, dog. The dog's here.
Keep it rolling, because
yeah. We
show took
kind
long.
of blew.
Yes, we did.
We weren't very good in the college picks in week 1. We're looking to turn that around here in week 2.
Dog.
We start off with a game that once again you were doing a sidecast on. Happening tomorrow, 9 p.m. on FS1, in what you've called the Battle of the Nerds.
This game is going to blow.
Duke at Northwestern. Is this at the practice facility?
It's whatever they have on lakefront on Lake Michigan.
Why is this game happening at 9 p.m. on a Friday?
I don't know.
Other than Fox and the Big Ten. I don't know. Duke and Northwestern. Duke plus 2.5. Fuck if I know.
Give me the Nerds in blue. Give me Duke.
The people, by the way, surprisingly split on this one, even though a very slight people favorite is Duke. I'm with Duke as well. We head into the Saturday slate. Big news on Fox. The game of the week, some are saying. Number 3, Texas. Minus 7.5. Going to the Big House to take on my Michigan Wolverines.
I hate this number at 7.5, but after what I saw from Michigan last Saturday, 8 days ago now, No, not 8 days ago. 6 days ago. Fucking tired. I'm getting tired. Preview shows do that. After what I saw 6 days ago, I cannot take Michigan here. I'm gonna have to pick Texas.
I agree with you. That doesn't mean I'm not taking Michigan, but
That's fair.
Yeah, there are big concerns. Like I said, if I'm gonna say Michigan's ass, it'll be after this game.
That's fair.
So give me Michigan. I might be one of the only ones remaining with a little bit of hope. Saturday at 3:30, already into the 3:30 slate. Only one noon game. 0-1 Charlotte. The 49ers. They traveled to Chapel Thrill to take on the North Carolina Tar Heels. Quick sidebar. In my Scott Road to Glory, it took a walk-off touchdown to beat Charlotte.
Oh. This game might blow too. Give me the Tar Heels, even though Charlotte's head coach is always a treat to watch on the sideline in his sleeveless hoodie, his cut-off sleeveless hoodie. Give me the Tar Heels.
So, I would take UNC, if not for Max Johnson being out of this game.
It's fair.
A bad injury against Minnesota. So I'm going to do something stupid and take the 22.5 and take Charlotte. I like points. Saturday, 3:30, CBS, Iowa versus Iowa State. I'm sure this game has some sort of name and some sort of trophy. I think it's the Cy-Hawk Trophy, isn't it?
Yes.
Iowa State is plus 2.5 as they travel to Kinnick. And something I may have never seen. 82% of the people are on Iowa.
Some people
Number
say
21, Iowa.
Yep. Did you say the spread?
2.5.
Okay, I'd say I honestly. Some people say I'm a man of the people. In this case, they are right. Give me. It could just be recency bias off the fact that Iowa just scored 40. Brian Ferentz is back for this game, so maybe they won't score 40.
Kirk Ferentz.
Kirk Ferentz.
He served 1-game suspension for the illegal recruitment of Cade McNamara.
Yeah, I don't know why you had to illegally recruit him. You could have given Jim Harbaugh a ham sandwich.
Michigan would have given him away.
Yeah.
He wasn't starting over JJ. Good Lord.
Give me
They just
Iowa.
had to be the first ones in there.
Yeah, give me Iowa.
I am taking Iowa. State! I am taking Iowa State. You played a bum-ass team last week, Iowa. I don't believe that you have an offense. Maybe I'll believe after this week after you prove me wrong.
Fair enough.
Maybe. Saturday, 3:30 p.m., Big Ten Network. 1-0, Michigan State, plus 8.5. Traveling to Maryland to take on the Terrapins. And the people are all over Maryland with a funky number.
Remember what I said about the Battle of the Nerds when we started this? And that game might blow?
Ugh.
When Duke Northwestern, I said it might blow. This game, Michigan State, Maryland, will blow. If you have $11 burning a hole in your pocket and you are in College Park, Maryland, save your $11. A fucking hot dog or some shit. I don't know. Don't go to this game. Maryland, though. Like, Michigan State's bad.
I once again, they have played one game. I am refraining from calling any team ass until they played at least two.
Which is why Florida State.
Which is why Florida State is the only team labeled ass right now. Does that mean I'm not taking Maryland? No. I am on board with Maryland. Aiden Childs is not the future of college football. He will not win the Heisman. I don't know.
He's bad.
I have no idea.
He backed up DJ Uiagalelei.
Nate Carter for Heisman, I guess. Saturday, 6 p.m., ESPN Plus. It is the Central Michigan Chippewas taking on FIU. Central Michigan minus 6.5.
Fire up, Chips.
Okay, we're on board. Fire up, Chips.
FIU's one, not FIU. Like, and I'm saying this with the Florida Gators being in the state of Florida.
Yes.
FIU might be the worst college football team, not just of FBS, Division I FBS. Might just be the worst football team in the state of Florida. College team in the state of Florida.
It tells you something when a MAC team, not a prestigious conference, a MAC team has 81% of the people on board with a little bit of a tricky number, a little bit of a favorable number if you're picking Central Michigan, but still.
Yeah.
I'm on board with the Chips. Also Saturday, 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus, a complete shitter.
This game is
1-0. East Carolina. There's going to be like 25 people watch this game, probably in the stands and on TV. East Carolina's 1-0. They're minus 2.5 on the road against Old Dominion, the Monarchs, who are 0-1.
It tells you something when the tickets for this game cost more than Michigan State, Maryland.
You know, I'm really sad about that now because I was gonna mention how like no Michigan game is under $200 all season. Michigan State's games are going for $11, and then Old Dominion, East Carolina costs more to go to.
Give me East Carolina. This game's gonna suck.
Give me Old Dominion. I don't care.
Where did you
I don't know
find
a
this
thing
game?
about either of these teams.
Where did you find this game?
It had a spread, and it was in the CBS picks. I don't know.
Like, give me a piece of that game.
They don't put spreads in there. I
No,
wish
it's-
they would.
It's bullshit.
1-0 Virginia Cavaliers Saturday at 7 p.m. on ESPN2. We're on cable.
Real network.
Hey,
We're getting somewhere.
right? It's an ass conference showdown. Wake Forest, the home team, minus 2.5 against the Virginia Cavaliers.
Off of principle because the Virginia Cavaliers football team has been ass fitting considering they're in the ass conference. I don't pick the Cavaliers to do anything good. Even with this spread only being 2.5, meaning they could pick an upset, get a potential upset if you can call it that. Give me Wake Forest in a battle of two.
Hey, both teams are undefeated.
Yeah.
They have a better record than Florida State. Give me Wake Forest. Saturday, 7 p.m. ESPN Plus. I put this game in here for one reason. 1-0 UAB minus 12.5 on the road against University of Louisiana Monroe, who is also 1-0.
Is there a reason this is in the picks?
There is, and that is the UL Monroe quarterback, who I'm sure you're very familiar with. His name is General Booty.
Oh, Jesus, that's where he is now.
Yes.
Give me UAB. The picks have lost cabin pressure tonight.
Give me General Booty. Even though in my CMU dynasty tonight, week 1 players of the week, both of them played for UAB.
You're also
But that's
in
2033. It's a long ways away.
I say you're also in year like 15 now.
No. Year 9. It's fine. Year 10, maybe. Saturday, 7 o'clock on the CBS Sports Network. I'm fairly certain you did a sidecast of this game. This exact game last year.
Yep, I did.
Is this a home and home? San
They're in the
Jose
same
State.
conference.
Oh God, they're in the same
This
conference.
is a Mountain West matchup.
I kind of forgot Air Force was even in a conference. San Jose State's 1-0. They're plus 6.5, taking on the Air Force Falcons.
I, as Jordan said, covered this in a sidecast last year. Mountain West matchup. Air Force started slow and then just bullied San Jose State. Air Force is going to bully San Jose State. Give me the Air Force Falcons.
Give me the triple option. Give me Air Force. Saturday, 7:30, ABC, number 15, 1-0, Tennessee, minus 7.5. Ranked matchup here, taking on number 24, NC State, the Wolfpack.
Do you mind telling the people what conference NC State is from, if they don't know?
They're from the S, yes?
Yes, they are. Give me the Volunteers.
Yeah, give me Tennessee.
I can't pick the ACC. I can't.
No. And by the way, you are a man of the people here on this. 83% of the people are on Tennessee.
I would say I wouldn't have been one if they picked NC State because it's ass.
7:30 on Comedy Central. Oh, I'm sorry, the Big Ten Network. 0-1 Western Michigan, plus 38.5 as they travel to the Horseshoe to take on the number 2 Ohio State Buckeyes.
Hopefully after this weekend, I don't have to see Ohio State play a MAC team for a very long time.
Yeah, what the hell? You start the season with 2 straight MAC teams.
This is the first time they've played MAC teams in a few years. Like, I don't know. Give me the Buckeyes here. OH. Why would I take Western Michigan anyway? Even if I
can't.
Yeah.
I can't. It's a lot of points. I like points. I can't do it. Saturday, 7:30, NBC and Peacock. This might be Big Ten Saturday night. I'm not certain.
Probably is.
1-0. Colorado is plus 7.5 as they travel to the field of corn, known as Nebraska, to take on the Nebraska Corn Huskers, who are not only favored, but favored by the people. 60-40.
Some people say I'm a man of the people. This is a funky spread. I agree with the people. Those people are right. Give me Dylan Raiola and Nebraska. Give me the Cornmen because Colorado looked fucking terrible a week ago against North Dakota State. And North Dakota State, yes, they're a great FCS school.
Yes.
But we're playing a real team now, Colorado. You guys look bad against North Dakota State. You're going to look really bad against the Cornmen.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with Nebraska as well. First real big test for Dylan Raiola, so we'll see how he does. But I'm with Nebraska on this as well. 10:15 p.m. start time for this classic on ESPN2. We're on cable again. New Mexico State hosts a favorite of the picks for the first time this season. The Liberty Flames are here. Minus 22.5 on the road.
It says something when this game, the tickets cost more than Michigan State, Maryland.
Which is bizarre because New Mexico State is the home team and they're massive dogs.
It says something about how bad Michigan State, Maryland's gonna be. I've been waiting to say it all year. I said it yesterday when I made my college picks off podcast for my own individual preview that I do every week on my Twitch channel. I've been waiting to say it all year. Give me liberty or give me death.
I am also on Liberty. They're just a wagon every time they're here in the picks. Now,
It
bad
makes
number,
no sense.
really bad number, but I am confident in Liberty, and I don't want to die. So, give me the Flames. Final college pick of the week, 11 p.m. on the Big Ten Network, Big Ten After Dark. The now 13th ranked USC Trojans host Utah State, probably not wearing cow helmets this week.
God, I hope not.
Utah State plus 28.5. By the way, the cow helmets, you know this, everyone else may not. They were released on April Fool's Day. Everyone thought they were a joke, and then they wore them week 1.
Yeah, I thought they were a joke until Saturday morning at like 11:30 when I sent you that text about them. USC is gonna cover, like, it's Utah State.
Yeah, it's another bad number, but I'm on USC here as well.
Like, this is the game. Like, this is the perfect game. Like, this is the perfect Lincoln Riley game. Granted, we said it last week with Oregon playing Idaho. Like, Lincoln Riley beats up on these opponents, and you think he did it back when he was at Oklahoma. He's done it at USC. Oh my God, this team's elite. This is that game.
All right. Well, give me the Trojans. That's it for the college picks. We move on for the first time this season
NFL.
to the NFL picks. Miserable week for us last week. Oh, wait. We didn't pick.
Yeah.
There were no games.
No games.
No. Oh, right. We're 0-0. Okay. We're fine. The Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs just wrapped up 27-20 Chiefs. 65% of the people were on the Chiefs minus 2.5. What was your pick?
Well, some people say the man of the people. In this case, they were wrong. I start the season off 0-1.
So do I. I was
Okay.
on the Ravens.
So we're at least starting off level, at least.
Yep. So we do have a losing record.
Yes, we do.
There we go. This game is happening tomorrow, which is a weird thing to say. Friday Night Football. What the hell is this? 8:15, not on NBC, just on Peacock. Packers and Eagles. Eagles minus 1.5.
You're missing something very important about this game.
Is it the people?
No. This game is being played in fucking Brazil.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
It's being played in Corinthians Stadium in Brazil.
Oh. So a complete fucking shit show.
The fucking Eagles.
Yeah, I'm on the Eagles for this one as well. I like the Packers, as we talked about in the preview, but I am taking Philly on this one. We get in now to the first real NFL Sunday of the season. The 1 o'clock slate starts off on Fox. Steelers plus 2.5 taking on the Atlanta Falcons and Kirk Cousins. Ooh-wee!
This is not a primetime game. Kirk Cousins is going to be good. Give me not the Eagles, the Falcons. High dog.
Hello, dog. Wow. Russell Wilson might be benched at halftime. I'm always convinced. Give me the Falcons on this. 1 o'clock on CBS. The Cardinals plus 6.5 taking on Josh Allen and the Bills. Will Josh Allen do Josh Allen things?
Like we said in the please hold.
You need to just cut a foot off of your bed.
The problem with that being a fucking giant.
Yeah.
That's America. Buddy. Like I said in the preview, I like the Cardinals to be better than what some people think. They're not going to win this game, though. Give me the Bills.
I am also on the Bills. House divided, united yet again.
That took a minute to get that out.
We move along in the 1 o'clock slate. The Tennessee Titans, who we predicted to be one of the worst teams in the NFL this season, plus 4.5, traveling to Soldier Field to take on Caleb Williams and the Bears in Caleb Williams' NFL debut.
Rookie quarterbacks have not won their NFL debut in, well, a while. I think they're owing fucking a shit ton. Unfortunately, Caleb Williams is going to be the first one to do it. Give me the Bears. The Titans just aren't good. The Bears are just good enough to win this game.
They will win. Hopefully by 3. Give me the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
I don't even like making that pick, but alas, I'm doing it. 1 o'clock, CBS, Patriots and Bengals. We've gotten our opinions on these teams. Very differing outcomes for the seasons assured for New England and Cincinnati. The Patriots in what might be the largest spread of the week, plus 9.5 on the road.
Yeah, give me the Bengals.
Give me the Bengals. What are we doing? Didn't even need to ask. 1 o'clock, CBS. The defending NFC, whatever, South, maybe,
AFC.
champions.
AFC South.
AFC, sure, yeah. They play football in the NFL.
Yep.
I don't care. The Houston Texans, minus 1.5. And 74% of the people are on them on the road.
If you have $25.25 in your pocket,
Oof.
this would actually be a good game to go to. I don't know why ticket prices are so low. This is your lowest NFL ticket price.
That doesn't really make that much sense. The Colts fans really haven't gotten a chance to see Anthony Richardson that much.
This game actually could be good. This would be a good one to go to for really cheap. That being said, some people say I'm a man of the people. In this case, they are right. Give me the Texans.
I'm on the Texans as well, but are we driving down to Indianapolis on Sunday to watch this game?
No.
Oh, damn. Anyway, moving on. 1 p.m. Jags.
If I had staff that I can trust, maybe.
That too. Jags plus 3.5 taking on the Miami Dolphins.
I can't pick the Jags.
Nope.
Give me the Dolphins. Like, I can't.
High hopes for the Dolphins this year. I will take Miami. I'd take them minus 6.5. We move on to the NFC South. A shit show of a division, and we have the two worst teams in that division matching up in week 1. The Carolina Panthers plus 4.5 taking on the Saints in the Superdome. People are on the Saints.
I don't know how this game, other than just being in New Orleans, has more expensive ticket prices than Texans Colts, because this game is going to be fucking atrocious.
I don't know. Those are both diehard fan bases, so I don't get it.
Yeah. I think both of these teams are going to suck. I think the Panthers are going to win more games than what they're expected because their total is 4.5. I don't think they're going to win this one, though. Give me the Saints.
Give me the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young breakout. I don't know how it's going to happen with what they have at wide receiver, but it's going to happen.
Fair enough.
Final game of the 1 o'clock slate, and it's one of the worst games we're going to see probably all season in terms of talent.
This game sucks.
The Minnesota Vikings, no J.J. McCarthy. They are starting Sam Darnold in a pick'em. I was going to say minus a half. No, in a pick'em with the New York Football Giants and Danny Dimes.
This is definitely going to be the worst quarterback matchup we see all year.
Sam Darnold versus Daniel Jones. Hey, the injuries could happen. We could wind up with Sam Howell versus... I don't even know.
Stetson Bennett? Maybe?
Yeah?
I guess.
I don't know if that's a game, but it's possible.
This game very well could end up in a tie, and which means it's going to prove me wrong. Give me the Vikings, though, because they're going to find a way to get the ball into Justin Jefferson's hands.
You would think. I am gonna go with the Giants simply because they're the home team.
Fair
That is
enough.
all I'm picking them on. Into the 4:00 slate, AFC
West.
Sure. I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out.
That was
4:05
painful.
on CBS. It is the Las Vegas Raiders and the LA Chargers. What fucking division did I think they were in?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Chargers. This is Jim Harbaugh's LA debut. Year one. No. Brandon Staley.
Yes.
Give me the Chargers. I would have picked the Chargers if Brandon Staley was here. Because the Raiders fucking suck.
Before, though, you said it before. It's late. Brain machine not work.
Give me the Chargers.
4:05 CBS. The Seattle Seahawks host the Denver Broncos. Seahawks -5.5.
This game ain't gonna be good. Give me the Seahawks though.
Yeah. I don't trust the Broncos whatsoever. So, now, what is likely America's game of the week? Because of course it is.
Yeah.
Because the Dallas Cowboys are in it. Cowboys +1.5 on the road to take on the Browns.
If Nick Chubb was playing this game, I would pick the Browns. Nick Chubb is out, as we said in the preview. Give me the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, hate to do it. Give me Dallas.
Yep.
Moving on in the Fox slate at 4:25, the Washington Commanders +3.5 taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the people are widely on the Bucs.
Week one of the NFL has some pretty bad games. Give me the Buccaneers.
This could be a bad one.
Give me the Buccaneers. Like, Jaden Daniels may play good, but that Commanders team just isn't good enough.
It's a tough defense to make your NFL debut again.
It is. It is.
If you were facing a cookie, maybe I'd pick you, but no. Give me the Bucs. Sunday Night Football, 8:20 NBC. Playoff rematch from last year. The Los Angeles Rams head to Ford Field to take on my Detroit Lions. Lions -3.5, and the people are on the Detroit Football Lions.
It's hard to beat the same team twice. Doesn't apply to this scenario.
I was gonna say, is it?
It doesn't apply to this scenario.
It was in January.
Give me the Lions. Like I said in the preview, I can't pick the Lions for the under in terms of wins. I can't pick the Rams to cover.
Yeah, I think the Lions are just more complete. Like,
Yep.
3.5 when it comes to the NFL is more or less unless you get like a really good team and a really bad team. Fairly big spread. These spreads are usually really close. You're giving me a field goal. I'll take Detroit. I'm going to take Detroit anyway. Let's be honest. And the final game of week one of the NFL, Monday Night Football, because where else would we put Aaron Rodgers? The return of Aaron Rodgers. Except Monday Night Football. Jets +5.5 as they take on the 40 fucking Niners.
This 49ers seems too good. Give me San Fran.
Yeah, I'm with San Francisco. Christ. Both teams have a defense, so it is certainly possible that we're wrong here.
Yeah.
Will Aaron Rodgers make it to the end of the game? Who knows?
They'll make it more than 4 plays.
Hey, that's at least 5.
Yep.
Give me the Niners. And those are the week 2 college and the week 1 NFL picks. So let's move on to Champ and Chump of which I'm doing a terrible job on these segments to start the season. I don't have a bad take of the week or a Champ and Chump. So
That's all right.
this is all you.
I'll fly through this. My champ of the week. Heath Tagawa in the Tour Championship the other day. I think it was Saturday. He called himself for a 2-stroke penalty touching the sand in the middle of his, as he was drawing the club back. I have watched that video over a shit ton. I am extremely convinced he didn't touch it, but good on him for the integrity, calling it himself. That's what we need in the game of golf when you got guys like Patrick Reed who will argue with any rules official to get any break, or just outright cheat at that professional level. You get a guy who does have the integrity to call himself on something. So, Heath Tagawa, my champ of the week. Scotty Scheffler, runner-up for having probably the best golf season. Somebody not named Tiger Woods ever in my life. And my chump of the week, I alluded to it earlier, talking about LSU, is Brian Kelly. I normally save...
Did it again?
I normally save chump of the week for somebody who just does something absolutely shitty, and not just someone who just sucks at their job. Brian Kelly fills both. Because he sucks at his job. Like I said, he had metaphorical explosive diarrhea all over the field in that fourth quarter. And then he did the shitty thing in his press conference. We need to do better. We need to... And then follows it up with...
I'm not doing enough. A good enough job as a coach.
Follows it up with, you know what we needed to win that game? We needed better quarterback play from our quarterback. USC's quarterback played better than ours. Garrett Nussmeier threw for 300 yards. I'm pretty sure. And I don't have the stats right in front of me anymore, but I'm pretty sure that Garrett Nussmeier, other than that one interception on the final throw of the game,
Which it's the final throw of the game.
Okay, Nussmeier 30 for 39, 308, 2 scores. Miller Moss 27 for 36, 375 and 1 score.
Those are very, very similar games.
Yeah. Like,
why would you throw your quarterback under the bus after that?
Your quarterback who's making his second start, his first regular season start, when two catches by USC's Kyron Hudson were some of the best we'll see all year. That set up scores. Like, why are you throwing your quarterback under the bus? And you just suck. So Brian Kelly, you're chump of the week. Hopefully, I don't have to talk about you ever again, even though
we will,
because he's just that bad at his job.
He might be now. So I feel like we should also treat champ and chump of the week the same as we do bad take of the week, where if you appear twice, you get your face on the graphic.
I don't hate it.
So Brian Kelly is a very good early season candidate to do just that.
For chump of the week, yeah.
No doubt. My family.
Like, he is, and he's been coaching longer than James Franklin, but he's the SEC's James Franklin.
He was the FBS Independence James Franklin.
Yeah, he was. So maybe James Franklin is the Big Ten's Brian Kelly.
You could argue that James Franklin is Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, Brian Kelly. I said last week that Dan Lanning is James Franklin with hair. James Franklin is younger, bald Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly.
He sucks. That's the show.
Or whatever the hell he did in that TikTok nonsense.
Yeah, that was bad. That's the show. I don't really think we have anything. Yeah, it's NFL preview. Next week will be a non-preview show, just recap of football. Hopefully nothing dumb happens in the news.
Who's going to be this year's Mel Tucker? Or who's going to be this year's Bishop Sycamore?
Or, Bishop Sycamore was in the news a lot. Mel Tucker was in the news a lot. Who was it before Mel Tucker?
Bishop Sycamore.
Raiders coach, dipshit
Oh,
McDumbass.
John Gruden.
Gruden, yeah.
Gruden in very similar circumstances where the news breaks. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. I'm kind of suing you, but I know this lawsuit isn't going anywhere, so the lawsuit's going to get dropped.
Yeah.
We haven't even reached that point with Mel Tucker yet. I don't even think that lawsuit's been dropped yet.
No, I think they're still going through processes of possibly suing. Yeah. Who's going to be this year's Mel Tucker or Bishop Sycamore or John Gruden?
For our sanity, let it be Brian Kelly.
No, I don't want to talk about the man.
Well, I don't either, but bad things happening to Brian Kelly is good for us.
That is true. Have a good weekend watching football. We got good college games. We got not so good NFL games. But we got
good
football
ones,
back.
a lot of stinkers.
We got football back.
Football!
We'll see you probably Wednesday, question mark. Wednesday or Thursday next week.
Yeah.
We will see you guys Wednesday or Thursday next week for recaps and hopefully just that. Till then, peace out. Stay classy. See ya.
Pray for me in CMU Dynasty against number 5 UConn.
Paper toss because I don't have paper.